Hey now, ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday night. This is the Open Speedway Racing League. They've been around for a little while. 23 years, as a matter of fact, so happy anniversary to Open Speedway, so we're here to celebrate that. The track we will be running at tonight is Open Speedway in the Dark, which is a version of Talladega, so going to be some fast-paced racing. Everything's always fast-paced. It's NASCAR. This old-school NASCAR, too, so it's like actual 800 horsepower motors. Either way, my name is Blaine Donlin, joined by the one and only Rob Rustin. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Open Speedway. I believe, I could be wrong, but I do believe that this is an iteration of John Godfrey's, really what started out as driver speed, which has been modified quite heavily since then. We actually run this track with another different version of this track on Thursdays and Saturdays with a little bit wider pit road, but it's the same thing, so we should do some good blue wide racing here today. Only one race tonight. So normally when we run with these guys on Mondays, they have a kind of a two-race series, shorter races, and never two tracks that are like the same. There's always kind of a short track or intermediate track, and then something a little bigger. So they're only doing one race tonight, which is kind of cool. 23rd anniversary. They've been around for a while, so it should be a fun race to call.
Yeah, Talladega is always a good one, and they called back a bunch of drivers. I know Robert Spring used to race here, and you know,
Kelly Gaza out there.
Yep.
Bob Sire, just to name a few. I mean, of course, you know, always got Larry D there. You know, man, myth, legend, the old Larry D. He's one of the guys that pretty much runs the show over here with Donnie Cameron and a few the other guys. So, and Ralph L. I don't know what Ralph's last name is. All I know is Ralph L.
Oh, I think we had this question last time, and I can't remember. Yeah, you're right. I can't remember.
Always feeding us information. I might have to change. I don't know if I like the TV one on this one. Have you been in there to see how that's not too bad, I guess. It's a little close, but.
Oh, the camera pack. Yeah, I forgot about that. Did I change it from last time? I don't believe I did. No, I did not.
Oh, there's another one.
Because Pit Lane 2 is a bird's eye view of the track. So that's how I know I didn't change that.
Like I said, they got a few people that are normal drivers here, and then a few that are, you know, that have pretty much always driven here. And I remember Elliot's in the house, you know, and a few drivers that, you know, we see in other leagues come over, just to help these guys celebrate their 23rd year. Like I say, Talladega. Now, you usually hear me complain about Talladega, and I usually do, but I'm actually kind of starting to warm up to it. I tried something new Saturday. I hate to say that I liked it, but it did work out better for me for a little bit until I accidentally got into Earthy. I thought I had it cleared. I was just trying. I had a little bit of damage. Not too bad, just enough that it was kind of, you know, you really had to mind your P's and Q's. You had to really kind of stay tight. And I misjudged it a little bit. I went to the far chase mode, something that Robert Spring, I guess Jeffrey Elliott does, and just kind of gives you a little more insight around you. So in some instances it worked good. Others it didn't work good was I just really couldn't see where that nose was, and I ended up flipping Dennis McCarthy and spinning him out. So I apologize to him for that. Unfortunately, I got wrecked out of that too. So
yeah, well,
he was able to continue on.
Such is the monster known as Talladega.
Yes,
you know, it's so awesome. It's never the same thing twice. So what are you gonna do, right? But
I've been running on Thursday nights with them guys, and when we do not broadcast, I do run on Saturday nights with them guys. Basically, same track, same mod.
When we do not broadcast, what day is that?
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job doing this now.
we didn't do it last Saturday, or you didn't do it last Saturday. You were out doing something with the wife, which is, you know, your prerogative to do. When you got to do it, you got to do it. You got to get the wife happy. So I decided to go race and had a good time. Learning, you know, I'm always learning. You never stop learning racing. But the group Saturday night and the group on Thursday night just make it fun, because I can remember running Talladega tracks and just feeling, I don't want to go as far as saying anxiety, but, you know, We always talk about how you like to run up front, and how I've always say how I like to just kind of run on the back and then wait and then go to the front. When you're
Depends on the group, though. I like being in the back too, depending on who I'm with. But those guys, you're surrounded by legends.
And I've raced with a lot of great people, but I just never felt comfortable running 2x2 at like Talladega TR or Daytona BR, or, even the original tracks, and it was never comfortable doing it. And then I got in with Talladega Nights, started learning, this and that, how to it. We started doing a lot more broadcasting of it, kind of learning and picking up. And so I decided to try it. And the first race I ran there was Thursday night with the RTG guys. And man, I mean, that makes a difference. 3 wide all the time, and you trust the guy that's inside you. It just
right.
That makes it more enjoyable for me because I'm not quite knuckling and hanging on. Going, I got to get out of here. But no, so I'm starting to like super speedway racing a little bit more, mainly because racing with RTG on Thursday and what little racing I get to do with ASR on Saturday.
That's the thing. When you get into a league, a lot of leagues will run different tracks, and it's very cool. But then the super speedways, they're always a little messy just because of the restrictor plates.
Yeah.
And, so you're running Pocono, you're running Watkins Glen, you're doing Bristol, then, it's super speedways, let's go to Daytona or Talladega. So now you're all jammed together, 3 wide races. It's a completely different thing. Where those other tracks, after a few laps, everybody finds their groove and everybody starts running their own race. So it's not like if you are in a pack racing other people, it's really not for the entire duration of the race, which is exactly what happens here. But, I mean, great call by Rolling Thunder, starting an actual series where they strictly run only Talladega, and you really get to hone this track. Guys are really good at other tracks, but when everybody's jammed together, this is the one to do.
It's funny that you mentioned, like running Bristol or, the variation of tracks that are out there are immense. But you run Bristol, you really can, to a certain extent, control your own destiny. You can win because you're fast. Here, you can't win because you're the fastest one out there unless you got the right people behind you. And that's the key. The people that will get behind you and stick with you and stay with you is how you really dominate more here.
What's the ratio on Talladega Super Speedway for winning when it comes to teamwork or just straight up luck?
Oh, God. It's
like almost 50-50.
99.9 teammate, 1%. And there are, I've seen races like that. It's the guy that goes out and he runs, a smart race, and he's able to go a little longer because, he's not leading the pack. He's not pressing. He's not leading the most laps. He's saving that precious fuel. And he's fortunate enough and lucky enough that he gets his pit stops in the right way, and maybe cautions fall in the right way. And at the end of the race, he's got enough gas to make the difference. He can make it to the start-finish line when nobody else can. We've seen, not very often do we see races like that. But every once in a while, somebody will win a race here, basically, and still, no matter which way you look at it, he's had to have friends to do it because he's had to be with that group. He's had to be in that situation where he could save. So, you know what I mean? But that's usually you got the right guys behind you pushing. And, the problem you have, someone like myself, I race with these guys now. They all know who I am, more so due to the broadcast. And they also know that I'm telling you right now, I'm not a super speedway racer. So, I've seen quite a few of them follow me, try, get behind me. And I can see they're not 100% comfortable with me. You know what I mean?
Right. Because, there's guys in that league like every year, or every day, every week in that series for years and years and years.
You take I'm just going to use some names here, like Josh McCallum, Tim Noster, Brian Schillen, and, there's so many more in that league. I could sit there and go on forever. But you get them 3 guys together, they're going to work well together. Yeah. They just have done this for so long that they can just go. And where, like I said, a lot of them, Brian Schilling especially, has been one of the big guys. He gets right behind me during practice, and he'll push me everywhere around that whole track. And all he's doing is testing. Can I handle it? You know, and I've never had a problem with it. But it's just the biggest problem I have is the exit at turn 2. And it sounds weird. I just struggle on the exit of turn 2.
From what lane? I'm on the bottom. That's a hard one.
It doesn't matter. Even the middle lane, I struggle. The top lane, I have no problem at all. I come out through the middle lane, it just pushes up just a little bit. That's with me on the roof. And then this last time, talking with Robert Spring was like, hey, you know what? This is what I do. Try it.
To your cars.
I mean, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. You know, let's just see what happens.
Awesome.
And so I tried it, and it, to a certain extent, was better. And like I said, I hate to say it, but I liked it. You know.
Yep.
And like I said, still hate to say it because I'm not racing. I mean, to me, traditional racing is in the cockpit, and I used to race, and this is why I hate super speedway racing. Racing in the cockpit. You can't see where anybody is. You know.
No. That's the thing. It's a totally different animal here. You need to be outside the car, which isn't realistic, but I mean, roof works for me. But looks like these guys are gridding up right now. They're on the back straightaway doing half a parade lap. Joseph Kearns was nice enough to edit up some musical introduction for this evening's anniversary race. So take it away, Joseph, and we'll be back in a minute.
20 years running, engine screaming in the night. Open Speedway still alive, every tune's another fight. From the first flume flag to the last white knuckle bear. Through the years racing at OpenSpeedway.net. Every driver knows the feeling when the tires start to bite. When the traffic pulls you forward, the road gets mighty tight. I can push you to the front and steal your victory. And I'm right behind you now, you know it's really up to me. Low on gas, I gotta hit your road. Do I take a can or off a load? 2 or 4 tires was my grade. With this being my lucky day.
Green flag in the air, and I don't know if Joseph Kearns played the instruments in that song, but he did the singing.
That's up good. Better singing than I am.
That's true too.
Everybody always say, hey, you want to do karaoke? No.
So we're doing sprints, I noticed.
Yes. Yeah, they're out there doing sprint races right now. Basically, that's just kind of a 10-lap sprint race. Some leagues, they'll do an hour and a half of practice. I've seen, I know Talladega Nights used to do this a lot. They would do a little bit of practice for a while. And as they got closer, they start doing 10-lap sprints. Now, what's kind of cool about doing the 10-lap sprints is you actually get kind of used to driving around the rest of the drivers in a pretty much great condition. Under practice, you don't get the full field together. You may get 5, 6, guys together. And then you'll have a bunch of groups out there just not running together. This gives you an opportunity to really kind of feel what everybody else out there is going to do. Get you a little, have a heads up play of what might just happen,
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good practice. The sprint races, especially on a super speedway, it's really good practice because it forces everybody to race in a pack. Where when you're popping into a practice race, there's a couple guys out there drafting. You come in late, they're gone. You're all by yourself. It's not really fun. It's just a fun way to practice a super speedway.
2 people in the chat so far. The Mackenzie, of course, my daughter Mackenzie always says hi. But Benjamin says hi, Blaine and Rod. And I want to know how many drivers there are today. Currently, right now, I do believe we have 26 drivers.
Yeah, 26 in this race. Anyway, we're not sure. After these 10 laps is done, a couple of guys might use this as a break.
These guys start a bit later than most other leagues. I know some people that would like that. They can't get in there earlier, and race. But these guys are, They always kind of run a little bit later. That's the way it seems to work out good for them. And they're a pretty decent, car count. A bunch of good quality drivers.
Ooh, they're slapping doors. Focused on the
Rewind.
46 of Lickety Split.
Rewind.
Yeah. Chris Elliott out there.
Yep.
Pumpkin, Ralph LeBlanc, Garland Davis, DVDN, Lennon Gilliman. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Gary Mingus, Rocket, Intimidator, Joe Kearns, Robert Spring, Dirk Diggler, Brian Wolf, Colby Pfeiffer, Rick K, Rick Becker, Larry D, D. Johnson, Brad Faulkner, John Godfrey, Mike Mangialardi, Jim Williams, Chris Elliott, Kelly Cosley, Scott Gilliman. Oh, it just reset. Irv Johnson, Jim Williams. Yeah, Lickety Split's in there. Everything just kind of shuffled because we crossed the line. I tried to get it in before it reset on the ticket there. But anyway, that's who's out there currently.
But you're getting a great show. What you're going to have happen tonight is this track is one of those tracks. John Godfrey built it. It is an awesome track. He did a great job. Pretty much the easiest way to explain it is equalizing the three lanes. How he did it, I don't know. He's got some voodoo magic up his sleeve, but he's very good at it, and this track has been very, very successful. And it's very weird. There's three distinct lanes. Most of the time, they like the middle. They want to be right there in the middle. That's where I would go if I had the opportunity. But it's really funny. They get three wide, and we still get to figure out the physics behind it. But once they get three wide, that middle lane, might as well throw the anchor out there, just go backwards.
Oh, we're four wide back here.
Oh gosh, four wide. The track's big enough to do it.
Yeah, and they're doing it.
And there you are, pulling it off. Oh, Becker get a little nudge there from
Palmer.
Oh, geez, there you go, Palmer out here. That nudge. So Saturday night.
Oh no.
Obviously races with us, and Becker just started racing over ASR on Saturday a little bit, and Palmer was like, "Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while." And he goes, "You're running that Packers car?" He goes, "Of course." And he goes, "We can't be friends." I take it that Greg Palmer is not a Packer.
Oh, John Godfrey getting loose there. Just saw half the field get wiped out there a couple of turns ago. Coming around at the stripe here. Of course, there's no cautions, so this group here now on the front straightaway is just probably going to walk away with it. 26 cars started, so there's no damage in sprint races, but most of those guys will probably retire. Chris Elliott to the bottom, right next to Jim Williams. That's a cool looking paint job, too.
Oh, I just switched over to Wolf's car. Boy, is that thing beat up. I was trying to find out who's in the 20. Jim Williams, okay.
Oh, they're running. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. So, yes, they are running damage. Apparently, I was wrong. Because that proves right there that we have damage on.
This car was the top, the bottom, the back, the front, the left. I didn't even think he bumped, scratched up the dry shaft on that one.
Yeah, really. There's nothing left on that one.
So you get a kind of a preview of what you're looking for, but you also have to remember one thing. This is a sprint race. This is just practice, just fun.
Oh man,
these guys will be a little more aggressive during this than they will be, during the feature.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these one-off little quickies like this, they're not tracking points. I mean, they're not racing stupid.
They just
but
want
it's
to
just a little bit more aggressive.
Jim's going to get down and, say, "Oh, I won this," or Chris Elliott, "Yep, I won this." Now, come tomorrow, is there going to be a big post on anything? Nope. There ain't going to be nothing that, let's say Chris Elliott wins this. The only person who's going to care about it that he wanted is him. He's going to go to bed tonight knowing I won the sprint race.
Yeah.
You want to win the big race, the 20th anniversary races. And like I said, no points, no nothing. It's just these guys out having a great time and bragging rights. We do the breast cancer awareness, the ALS for Kelly Cosley. We do a lot of different stuff like that, and all for good causes and whatnot. Tonight, it's the 23rd anniversary. They're just out to have fun. They could say next Monday, they usually run on Mondays. They can sit there and go, well, guess what? I'm the champion of the Sunday night 23rd anniversary race. They got a year to do that.
Yeah, you got a full year. Speaking of the cancer race, we're going to be doing that one for Nate Balzer coming up there in September. And unfortunately, Nate texted me this morning too. His computer's cooked.
Oh,
His liquid cooling unit stopped pumping liquid, and it baked his processor.
that'll happen.
Which I thought was kind of weird because usually there's a fail safe. If the processor reaches 115 degrees, it's going to shut down. But it caused enough damage where now his computer no longer works.
Oof.
There's some more wrecking. Oh my God.
It's got the power behind him right now there, Chris Elliott in that Food Lion Ford Dark Horse Mustang. I just looked in front of it.
Yep.
That doesn't mean he's going to win it. Well, we are on the last lap.
Yes, we are. Jim Williams just got pushed right out of the way there.
Kelly Cosby going down the bottom. You got there. You got to find out
Nobody could line him up. And that'll be it. Chris Elliott takes sprint race number 1.
I was trying to figure out who was in the 8, but there is no 8. It is the 008 of Rick K.
Ah.
I don't even know when we actually start. Whereas this was, like I said, a last minute thing. They got a hold of you and said something. And I said, you said, hey, can you do Sunday night? I'm like, dude, I got a race. I go, it's open Speedway. They don't start till 10. So, oh yeah. I'll go.
That's the thing when open comes calling, everybody's home.
Yeah. It's like, I'll be able to make 10 o'clock, but come Saturday here pretty soon, we have 4 night races in July. Not necessarily in succession, but we have 4 night races in July, which I guarantee you I will not make it home in time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you guys actually run night races at the actual track?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're going to do some Saturday night races. We have 4 in a row, but they're not, like I said, not every single week in a row. Pretty much most of July. And the logic behind that is that it's going to be a lot hotter. So why not do it at night?
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a great idea. Yeah, that's cool.
We're only into a 30-lap race tonight. So, I mean, we are accustomed to, Thursday night, and I think Saturday's 66 laps, right?
Yes, that's a fan favorite. Yep.
And I don't know, is it 66 laps on Thursday or not?
Yep.
Okay. So these guys are only running 30 laps tonight. So I don't know if we have 2 races or 1. But DJ, Daryl Johnson there, let's go Racing Rod in the chat. DJ and EJ, a couple of brothers that race over here, race with them at a few different leagues. And, they just kind of found themselves a home over here at Open Speedway, and they seem to like it over here. So they've, we get a chance to see them every time we come over and do a broadcast.
Yeah, it's neat to do different leagues because then you get different drivers, talk to different people.
You get different leagues, you get different things. And I think, like we did a lot for TMP on Wednesdays there for a little bit. And their rules are much different than most. You can't take tires under green flag conditions. Some people like that, some people don't. And I've talked to Irv a little bit last time we were goofing around here. And a lot of guys just didn't like that, not taking tires under yellow flag conditions. It just threw it off for them. It does. It makes for really wicked strategy races.
Yeah, it's cool.
Don't do that. So, of course, even 7 nights a week, go on.
Even if every league ran the same set of rules, it would always be different racing. But it's cool that there's a lot of very unique rule books, and then even from within. Like you said, if these guys operate 7 days a week, every single series that they have in this league would be completely different with completely different rules. So it's, you could get into one solid league and just stay there your whole life.
Yeah. Oh, you look at Thursday night at RTG. They run this version, but the version 4 of the RTG track. And on Saturday night they run the same track, same mod, a lot of the same drivers, not all of the same, but a lot of the same, running both series. It's very different in the sense that you race on Thursday night and you don't race back until I believe it's 15 or 10 of laps to go. Then you turn around, same, like I said, same track, same car mod at ASR on Saturday. Everybody races back. Caution flag comes out, you race back.
So I just flipped my camera file.
Just that there makes quite a bit of difference in it.
Did you want me to send that to you, the new cam file?
Checking out the cars here because we got a few cars that haven't been out earlier.
Do you want me to send you the cam file?
You can actually. I love that.
This one or the one
have
that
a really good cam file.
Yeah, that's this one doesn't really give too much of a wide angle.
No, it don't.
So this one I'm sending you here is the one from NR Clips that I use for every single rendition of Talladega. So that'll give you some wider camera angles. And I'm so used to it because I kind of, especially when we became like a broadcasting channel, and Wolf and I started this at Talladega Nights, and kind of where these tracks started coming from too. Like they all adapted the BSR track, and then they all retextured it, and it was like, okay, let's see if I can find a different cam file, because the one that ships with the game, and it's good, but there's a lot of good people in the community that come up with some cool stuff. So that was kind of one of my things. Like I need to find a file for the cameras that I can lean on. And I talk about them all the time. There's a Reddit user that goes by the name of NR Clips, and he does custom cam files for the main tracks, Talladega, Daytona, Michigan, like the popular ones. You're probably not going to find too many for like Lonesome Pine or Seekonk or something, but there's many different kinds of cam files you can find for these super popular tracks, and I finally found this one, and I have not changed it for years. I love it. The spectator camera is one of my favorite ones because it actually, like you can see, the spectator cam, it doesn't cut. Yeah. So it's like you are the spectator, and you're sitting in one seat. The one that we were just using is the same, but it doesn't zoom. So when the cars get on the back straightaway, you can't see them. This one would be like a spectator with binoculars. So
what I like about what we got here going on is because like before you were focused on a car. So right now I'm on DJ, and you would see his car. If you can only see about maybe 3 car lengths around him. So with the version that we got now, when I see him going down the track, I can see all the way, maybe 30 car, almost 20 miles behind him. So now when stuff happens, it makes it a lot easier for us to see. So
that's the thing too. Yeah, they cramped camera angles, and even Rod he's not broadcasting, he's just co-hosting. He still needs to see what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I don't mean to pick on Seth and the guys at Flat Out. They do an excellent job. Seth Cole is one of the greatest broadcasters out there. Kyle Matthews, his knowledge is incredible.
God, dude, ask that guy anything.
Yeah, I mean, he may not know, how to adjust a car, set up a car like I do, but when you say,
that's where you're an asset because that's your skill,
right? But you go to him, who drove the Smoking Joe's? Oh well, Jimmy Spencer did it from here to here. Anyway, they do it where because of kind of you've got Seth, you've got Kyle in there, and sometimes I forget the other guy's name, all in there at the same time.
Jack Mitchell.
Literally, that would take up 4 spots. So they use Discord, and they're all watching Seth. Obviously, yours is on a separate feed, and I couldn't do that. We had to do that. We were forced to do that the other day. Solely because, the
game was broken.
Yeah, my game was broken. We're still trying to get it figured out, and we just got it in there a little too late. So we're like, last minute, what do we do? And
Discord is an absolutely 100% like last minute backup, because the great thing about using Discord to share my screen to you is it's literally like a 1 millisecond delay. I don't know how Discord does it. It's some kind of voodoo sorcery. It's crazy. The latency is basically nothing. So it's handy for doing that. Like, you can see exactly what I'm seeing exactly when I'm seeing it. So that's fantastic, but it's also not what we want to do, because having eyes on different spot on the track, it's like, oh, how many tires did he take? You can just rewind your game and go look.
Yeah. Well,
And then, hey, Blaine, you should check out the 12th minute, 43 seconds. I can rewind and I don't have to go looking for it. I know right where I got to go.
Well, I'm not necessarily watching what you are watching. Sometimes I'm up with a leader, and sometimes, I'm just way in the back, and that's what works out great with us because of the freedom to be able to do that. And that would drive me nuts, because basically, and it's my own opinion, I just think that was probably one of the worst broadcasts that I ever done, just because I'm like looking at your screen going, and if I normally wanted to see a car that was behind, Bob's Fire, and I'm like, all right, well, I can't go look.
You can't move it. Yeah, you're watching a broadcast you're co-hosting a race with your arms crossed.
Speaking of Spire,
you can't touch your keyboard because it doesn't do anything. You're just sitting there watching me. It's like, it gets it done, which is okay, I guess. But
Bob's in the chat, says, hi, Blaine and Rodent. Congratulations on your win, Rodent. So
yeah, you walked off the track there stealing everybody's money today.
Yeah.
Now if they are in a driver's meeting here in happy hour, right now they are qualifying. There is I think there's a prize to the winner tonight, because this is the 23rd year anniversary of the league. Larry D is going to allow us to sit in on the driver's meeting, so we'll get to everybody will get to hear what's going on, and they're going to announce what the prize might be. I don't know if it's a cash prize or a coupon to Best Buy. I don't know what's going on, so I guess we're going to find out here in a second.
But it's kind of neat too, because most of the time when they're in the driver's meeting, you and I are talking about other things and the events for the night, or what have you. To go through a driver's meeting is actually kind of cool, because you get to learn a little bit more about some of the rules and regs, and how they do it. And there we talked about earlier too about how some leagues do this, some leagues do that. Yada back and forth. It's Saturday night ASR. They started something new. They approached us and said, hey, bear with us. We want to try this. All right, what do you want to do? Well, let's say Chris Elliott wrecks. Okay. Grab him, bring him in the booth, and see how he feels about it.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like, we've interviewed people on the track before, but they're like, yeah, no, get them in there as fast as possible.
We want them, and I said, well, the hard part about that is they're in a room, you know what I mean? I grab Bob Sire, per se, or Bob Spring, bring him down here, and he's in the middle of a conversation, or even better than that, he's in the middle of having a discussion with them.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go up there and see what's going on. All right, you ready to take a trip up there?
Let's do it.
Year on the network here. Speedway's 60-lap yellow flag feature here at Open Speedway track. We do have a few rules we have to go over, and bear with me. I will try to make them as fast as possible. If you have any questions, I'll have a place at the end for you to ask them. The race is 60 laps. The first 50 laps of the race, we do not race back to caution. If the caution comes out, eyes out the windshield, do not run over anybody under caution, as that is a penalty. And those are single file restarts. The last 10 laps of the race, we do race back to caution. And if we get a restart in that last 10, it will be double wide. And the nose of your car must stay behind the nose of the car, numerically in front of you, until you cross the start-finish line. We do have no 3 wide on lap 1, and we do have the no low lining rule in effect until the very last lap. When the white flag drops on your speed indicator, it's clear to low line and or block for that final lap. Pace speed tonight will be 70 miles an hour. Pit road speed is 55 miles an hour at the line. No hot pitting, and no late re-entry back onto the track. Once you commit to pit lane inside that triangle, don't go back up, as that is a penalty. If you cause an incident on the track and the caution does not come out, you must do a drive-through penalty within 5 laps. If you cause an incident and the caution does come out, you're pitting on the first opportunity by taking full service, entering the track early when you leave to get into the longest line penalty, and then continuing to do same as every opportunity, full service, entering track early until the caution light would go out. If we deem you the lucky dog under caution, you're pitting on the second opportunity, taking full service, entering the track early to get into the longest line penalty as well, and you must continue pitting every opportunity, doing same as full service, entering track early until the caution light would go out. Competition cautions tonight are going to be on lap 17 and 42. Anybody have any questions?
If there are no questions, I'm sorry, Jack.
Say anything?
I have something I want to say, but yeah, Ralph, go ahead, take the mic, bud.
I'm just going to say one thing. You guys remember one thing. You're live on Tarnation TV, so.
10-12.
Thank you, Rod.
Well, what I'd like to add is, first of all, it's quite an accomplishment to keep a race league open for 23 years. I believe this to be the oldest standing NR2K3 race league that is available. So, Ralph, a tip of the hat to you, and thank you very much for giving us all a place to race. Next item, I like to put a little twist on things. The first place winner is going to get a whole lot of glory, and Donnie's going to plaster a lot about it on Facebook. But the person in second place, the driver in second place, after the review of the race, if you're in P2, we're going to send you an Open Speedway coffee mug. All we need is your address. So it's not all about winning tonight. It's about having a lot of fun and trying to help somebody else. So P2 gets the coffee cup mug.
Thank you. Okay, Jack, are you having problems getting in?
No, it just says that the race is full. I can't get in, bro. So
We
I don't
had.
think I was on the right screen.
Well, we did have you in the server.
He is in the right mod, right?
There you go, sitting in on the driver's meeting. Hopefully Rod notices I left.
Yes.
There he is.
Oh, I know. I knew you left. I was just wishing the guys good luck. All right, so now the big question of the day is, do you go for the guts and the glory to get your name all on Facebook, or do you go for the coffee mug?
That's the thing, yeah. I got a mug from Kazi there. He sent me the little, he always sends me a package after the big ALS fundraiser that they do every year, and this year was a coffee cup. It's pretty neat seeing who did the logos for that.
I got 2 stickers from Kelly, and I got a koozie. And I sent him a picture of the sticker. Now I'm hoping that I know the lady takes pictures, and I put it on the side when you're traveling around there with the checkered flag, that it'll be there, and it should be in the picture. Ironically, though, it's not the checkered flag that I carry.
Okay.
So the flagman, who is a very good friend of mine, I work on his race cars for him, and we had kind of an ongoing joke bet. Not really a bet. I guess it was more of a joke. So the very first race that I ever won before he was a flagman, I got the checkered flag. The very first race I won with him being the flagman, I was given the black flag to do my victory lap with.
Cool.
Then it was the passing car flag. Then it was the yellow flag. Then it was 4 in a row, and I think it was maybe the yellow flag, and then I didn't win any more of that season. But this year, the very first race gave me a checkered flag because there's a new photographer that does our photos, and everybody there for very first win, they get a picture made. It's a really kind of nice size picture made up of of you traveling around the track with your, the trophy with the flag. So he's like, I gave you that because that one's going to be your picture. And now I was the black flag. This week was the passing flag, and I'm pretty sure we'll go through the whole flags through the whole season if I can do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The black flag, the black flag tribute victory lap is cool.
Yeah. Well, we had an episode 2 years ago when he started being the flag man, and a guy was on the outside, and we kind of got together and we touched, and it wasn't nothing really major or whatever. But as they're getting ready to line up here, but he was like, he just couldn't help himself. Guys, keys the mic, and he goes, guys, I know he didn't do anything wrong, but I got to do this. He starts pointing at me with the black flag.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's funny how those little traditions sort of start up, like just some random thing, and then it turns out to just be a thing forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Christ, I didn't even notice Mike Mangialardi's in here as well. Robert Spring got the pole. Here, Chris Elliott, outside pole. Kelly Kazi is starting third. Fourth is Mike Mangialardi. Fifth is Pumpkin, Bob Sire. Sixth, is Larry D. Seventh is, we're just going to call it Rocket. 8 is Lickety Split. They got weird names over here.
Yeah.
9 is Gilliman. 10 is Dirk Diggler. 11, we know this one, Diver Down. That's easy. 12th is Davis. 13th is EJ. 14th is Josh 2. I didn't see him sneak in here tonight. 15th is Kearns. 16th is Faulkner. 17th is the other Johnson family member. That is DJ. 18th is the 14. 19th is, I guess it's be Pfeiffer in the 1. That's a Grizzly car. It looks kind of cool. 20th, Mike Ireland. I race with him on Wednesdays usually, and I didn't see him sneak in here. Where did I go here? I lost my place. And then we have 2 Gillimans in here. I forgot about that. One is S. Gilliman, the other is L. Gilliman. That is in the 77. And then, of course, I got 19th. Donnie Cameron is 23rd, sorry. 24th is Blaine Donnan. He will not be racing here tonight. 25th is Brian Wolf. 26th is John Godfrey. 27th is Haley. Had to move things a little bit. 28th is John Williams. 29th is the Intimidator. 30th is R. Becker. And rounding out the field tonight is Rick K. So we have 29 drivers here tonight. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Place your bet. Robert Spring's on the pole, but you got to have friends out there. He has been practicing a lot on getting his qualifying much, much better, and it just showed tonight. Look at Chris Elliott out there, Kelly Kazi. I mean, come on, think about it. Pumpkin, Palmer. We've known all of these guys, the ones that we're talking about, is guys that normally race, Talladega 3-4 nights a week. Over here at Open Speedway, it's not, I don't think they have a Super Speedway series. So,
bear with me. Game just decided to shut himself down.
Okay, so they must be doing a tribute lap. We didn't hear about that. I think they pulled the caution or something. Go one more lap. You got to get that figured out,
I don't know why sometimes stuff just works and then other times it fails every time. There's certain things I can do behind the scenes and the game is fine. And then other nights I do those same things behind the scenes and it just instantaneously just crashes on me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that happens, but I just say it's a whole game and here we are. Back at it.
Yeah, we got my kind of in race reporter, Bob Sire. I was always on the chat, kind of throwing stuff at me. And Rocket is Greg Palmer. I knew the car, but I just weren't paying attention that Rocket is Greg Palmer. So one of the guys. I mean, like I say, we've seen a lot of these guys out here that we see on Thursdays and Saturdays, and great super speedway racers. Not taking anything away from the other drivers that are here. We just don't know, their super speedway prowess.
Well, we're going to find out pretty quick.
Yes, we are. And at a great facility, this track that John Godfrey made is absolutely incredible. It's one of the better tracks that anybody could ever run on. The ability to run 3 wide for lap after lap after lap. Is just
this
so
was
awesome.
a tweaked burnt screwdrivers, and then they modified the grip lanes in conjunction with a setup that in combination with the track surface and the car setup, it's actually like a flawless combination.
Oh, it's great. Robert Spring there on the poles, the pace guy that's going to set it off here. Chris Elliott on the outside, the old food line. Elliott with a better start, but Mangialardi was not at his rear bumper, where Kelly Kazi's right on the rear bumper of Robert Spring. That's going to help Robert Spring a little bit more on the start. We've known this track to kind of especially on our restarts, the bottom line seems to get a better run and get going. We see Robert Spring do what I was just going to say, pull right up into that middle groove. A lot of the guys love that middle groove more than they do the bottom. And I am one of them. I'm not a big fan of the bottom. To me, it's just too tight off the exit.
And we heard in the drivers' meeting too, they will be competition yellows at lap 17 and 42.
Yeah. So they're kind of doing it in a roundabout way of like stage racing, no points. But, it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah. Tighten everybody back up.
Yep. And like I said, it's kind of a version of stage racing. Kazi got out in front, didn't stay on the bottom. We see that a lot. They'll go right to that high side. When they get enough numbers up there and enough numbers running tight together. What's up, Larry?
Okay, listen, here's the deal. Ralph, who this race was all for tonight, wasn't able to get in. We're going to restart. We're going to do a lotto on it to get going 1, 2, 3, and we're going to restart the race over.
Okay.
Okay, bud. We can do that.
Very good.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yep, I figured I'd come down and let you know what's going on. Thank you, guys.
All right, bud.
Awesome. Thanks, Larry.
Good luck. All right, so we got a little change in it.
They're...
The downside to that is, your Robert Spring, you put in a good effort to get the pole, but Rick L's not in, and the guys that Brunsley does this, gets everything all set up for him. Yeah. Let's, get him in the race.
Can you let me know when they reboot it?
Yep, I'm waiting they're still racing out there, so I'm waiting for them to call.
Yeah, this will give me a chance to actually fix those glitches that I just had, so.
And you're missing.
I'm missing a race that is irrelevant.
They're 3 wide, dude. They just had a little bit of a wreck. But I gotta change.
Oh, you're missing a great race. I'm like, yeah, but that race doesn't matter.
No, but they were really, really having a lot of fun out there.
So who got the coffee cup?
Cool. I've got to make a change here.
Are they out?
I think so. Okay, yeah, they're into practice. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was in the middle of trying to make changes of my own.
All right, bear with us here. A little bit of a reset. A couple of cars did not make the grid. Race length is reporting 30 laps. They'll probably end up changing that.
They did 30 on the first one there, so...
I was showing 60 on that one we were just in.
Really? Showing 30, so mine might be still having issues.
Because like you say, usually it's a double header.
That changes up the order a little bit. Pfeiffer's going to be on pole. Dirk Diggler outside. Robert Spring did not make out too bad at that. Was the pole sitter. Now he's going to start on the inside of the second row. The 14 will start on the outside. Then we got Intimidator in fifth. Josh 2. I'm looking to see, did you beat me?
Maybe.
Nope, I got you again. So over to here, that open Speedway, my luck on the qualifying and the random qualifying is pretty good against you. So
there is a version of this track It's not smooth enough. There we go. There's a version of this track that had Rodney Sullivan's Winnebago.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna see if Rodney Sullivan's Winnebago. Let's speed this. We got to speed up the drone camera here. We're gonna put some fuel in it. We're gonna put some nitrous in this thing so we can get to the exit of turn number 2 as fast as possible. Oh, it's still there. I can see it. Oh, they changed it. They switched. It's the red Winnebago. It used to say 38 on the side. Now it's got 84 on the side of it. That's cool.
It'll be a John Godfrey trick.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And to prevent me from going crazy later, I will turn the drone speed back down because that is not going to be fun. That's a little bit more doable. Well, that's a question now too then. So they changed it to 84, which would be Ralph LeBlanc.
Okay. Just gonna say, I'm trying to remember what number he ran over here. But, so that makes sense.
So Ralph has a Winnebago out of turn 2.
That Winnebago looked better than the Winnebago we used to have back when we did Talladega Nights. I forget whose Winnebago we used to hang in.
Rodney Sullivan's Winnebago. They used to throw whiskey bottles on the track back there.
Yeah, that one was pretty rough.
Yeah. They were an Irie bunch.
Mm-hmm. But we got it done, moved up in the world.
So yeah, Pfeiffer is now first place. Right next to Diggler. That's your front row. Robert Springs still basically the same spot.
Yeah, so
just move one spot back. Yeah, I just noticed that.
I didn't go through the whole list just because of the way it all worked out, but I did get the top 6 cars pretty much, and that worked out pretty darn good for me.
Well, doing a race reset allowed me to get my ticker working properly again.
That's nice.
Fortunately, there's some gaps in the ticker just because those drivers, I don't know why that happens, but if they use one name, like Rocket in the 22, Diver down in the 12, like that. The 003 is Intimidator. They don't have a first initial. For some reason, the game doesn't put the name in there. I don't know why. It only happens with this vertical ticker.
And that's usually like the situation where a feed on Thursday night, they want you to have your name in there as kind of like as one or something like that, just because it makes it easier to see that person's name. And we've had a few times like that. Like the perfect example for tonight, we got 2 Gilmans out there. I'd have to pull up, get Scott Gilman is one, and let me find Donnie. Nope, not Donnie. Where's the other? We can pull up. It's Landon Gilman. So we got a couple of different Gilmans out there, and their first name doesn't show up. It just gives it their first initial.
Right.
Some leagues will actually have you put, like mine is Rod Weston. Instead of it being R Weston, they put Rod Weston in the second line. That gives it, they know more so who it is.
Yeah, like your first initial, no first initial at all. Your full name and the last name slot.
Yep. Yeah. Diggler's currently out front. And Robert Spring giving him a heck of a push there on the middle groove.
I love that turtle wax car. That's super cool paint job.
God, Yellow Man. I hope I'm saying that right. It's got the number 15. The Bush. Is it Bush or Bush Light car? I think it is. Just the Bush car.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, they got the there's like 7 H's on the thing.
It was probably Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick. We got 77 of Lemon Gillen getting up there too. Prime Chevrolet, ZR, I think it's ZR1 Chevrolet Camaro. Pulls down the inside lane. So now we got 2 Gilmans, nose to tail.
I'm sure they're pretty confident racing with each other. How did they get this thing to run 60 laps? I guess it's a I&I tweak.
Must be. Yeah, because I saw 30 was getting. That's okay.
Well, usually it's 66 or 47.
Yep.
Usually there's never, but yeah, if you tweak the I&I, you can change it to change the percentages.
You got 2 races at Charlotte in the 2003 season. One of them was the Coca-Cola 600, and the other one is like, I forget what they call it, but it was like a 500-mile race. And it's just changing that, particular number. So they probably just, did the math, figured out the geometry of it, and made it work. Pumpkin Sire. 3rd groove, high, wide, and handsome with Chris Elliott.
Oh, the 33 of Diggler moved up and abandoned Robert Spring. Saw that momentum coming. Perfect timing.
I was trying to find out who's in the 66, and that is Davis. So I got that 3rd groove working to perfection. That's it. Robert Spring kind of got hung out to dry. Faulkner's coming up behind him, Kazi, and we'll call him Mr. Palmer back there behind him.
Oh, now they're going to abandon Diggler. See if they can take that lead away from him. Chris Elliott sticking with Pumpkin.
Amazing how these guys can read the track the way they do. That's to me something new. I don't necessarily run up the front. A lot of these guys do all the time, so I'm still trying to figure out, room space and how do they do that. That's what makes these super speedway guys really, really good. Is they know they can. We've seen guys come from the bottom all the way to top all the way to the bottom. Just they know they can do it. They know they got the room, and they go.
Yeah.
Davis dropping down low, but I don't know if that's going to be a great move. He may have had the momentum to do it, but get out there, you pull that chute. He's got to wait for Proctor to get behind him before he's going to actually start making any room or any time up. Sorry.
Isn't that 27 paint job extremely cool and professional?
Oh gosh, here we go. Nothing like a broadcaster gloating about it.
I've only made like 3 cars. When they actually show up in a race, I'm like, oh, look at that. I remember painting that.
Did that one.
Bob always wants skulls. Great. If you're going to paint Bob Sire a car, just make sure you get Harley Davidson and skulls on it.
Yep.
So there you go. There's the skull Harley Davidson car.
Who's out front currently right now doing, leading the way. We do know, I don't know, did we find out, are they 2X on the pit cycle?
Sorry, say again. Your mic sounds a little bit different right now. I can't hear.
I know why that is. Hold on, let me fix that.
Kelly Causey to the front, driving a 60. That's going to take some getting used to. He's usually the 0-0.
Mm-hmm. Does that sound better?
Yes, it does. Thank you, sir.
Well, we had the team speak set for Valheim, and I didn't switch it over.
The 0-0 here has been claimed. That's why Causey's forced to pick another number. Mike Ireland is running the double deuce, the 00, the 00.
Usually runs that car on Wednesdays with me. A little birdie told me that I won't be racing on Wednesdays for a little bit here, possibly.
Possibly.
Haven't got the 100% of it, but, we're a victim of our own success.
Yep.
Find 2 nights that I can race, and then everybody, we did a couple of broadcasts just because, people wanted us to, and now we got people that want us to broadcast on Wednesday. Of course, that's my open setup racing night, but that's okay. Not trying to make Blaine feel bad or anything.
Yeah, I mean, somebody will sit in, but I mean, you're the guy, so.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I've missed so many races on Wednesday just because of either broadcasting or I missed the first race just because I missed it because I wasn't paying attention. But out of the points, my goal was to go there in points race. So
right.
Faulkner on the bottom there, he has got lickety split right behind him there. Lickety split almost up into Palmer there.
Garland Davis leading that middle line, fairly solid. Trying to reel that high line back in though.
Davis, if he stays in that middle line, I think he's smart enough to know that if he stays in that middle line and that bottom line gets up to him, they're gonna lose out.
It looks like he was trying to get.
Lickety split.
There goes lickety split.
Now become a pilot. Oh,
yellow
few
up.
cars involved in that.
Yeah, they do not race back.
Saw, I believe, both of the Gilman boys in there. Yep, I did. Brian Wolf was involved in it. Saw Rick Kay in there.
Man.
Josh, too, was also involved, but I don't think he was involved like most of them. I think he was a latecomer and kind of got around it, but it did slow him down for a bit.
I'll back that up a little bit there. You see that line does a little bit of a bob and weave.
Pfeiffer. I couldn't remember who's in the one, but it's Pfeiffer that was also involved in it.
Oh, wow. And she's
Bonk was
straight up and down.
Ralph LeBlanc, which is the one that, we had the restart to get him back in here in the 84. Unfortunately for him, he was also involved in it. Great thing about this mod, it will show the damage, but as long as they don't hit the nose, for the most part, they're usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Seen Rodney Sullins not have any panel on the back of that thing, and as long as he was in a group, he couldn't go out and lead a group or he had to be between cars, but he got in between cars and ran solid that night, even with the car as damaged as it was.
It's amazing sometimes how bad they look. The cars look completely trashed, and then if you're in a pack though, you got some people helping with the wind and the air resistance.
Most part, like I said, in this mod here, as long as the front end of it doesn't get damaged, you can still usually go. That or any engine damage. We've seen engine damage really, really kill a car, but
yeah. And we heard in the driver meeting too, the commitment cone is that orange cone, but they don't like anybody committing after the triangle. So what they mean by the triangle is you got to get in before that point right there. If they don't commit before that line breaks, that will be a post-race penalty. The game will do it at the actual pylon, but it sounds like league rules.
They do have a few different rules. I do know that they like
that's a good one. They're just backing it up, right? It's less.
A lot of them allow hot pitting. A lot of other than that, they don't allow hot pitting. They don't want you to do some of that stuff that gains you such a big advantage, which is fine. I mean, everybody has their own little rules, and they can police that just by simply going back. And I do know that these guys spend some pretty good quality time reviewing the review. Oh gosh, hold on, let me fix this.
Yeah, doing the replays, because they would have to go back and watch to make sure every car was around that 50-mile-an-hour mark, where like you could hit that line doing 90 and still not get a penalty, because that's what hot pitting is, but they're going to want you to be pretty close to 50.
55
I'm sure they're not going to be, or is it 55? Yeah, 55. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if it was 60, that's not a big deal.
No, but it's like you said, you can come in there at 90 miles an hour if you do it right.
Yeah.
And you can slide right through the pits and make up a bunch of ground. You also risk the chance of getting caught. That's not hard to do. Even though you think you did it right, they can still get caught. But they try to, gain a little bit of time by hot pitting. They don't allow that over here.
Yeah. And they do single file restarts until the final 10.
Single file until 10. Then what do they do after with 10 to go?
Double.
Wow. It's different.
Yep. That's what I heard in the meeting. We were sitting in on the meeting there, so it's single file restarts until 10 to go, then they double them up.
That's got to be an admin's nightmare.
Yeah.
For the most part of the race, you don't have to worry about it. But then you get to the end of the race, you could be very, very busy admin trying to clear black flags. We've seen a lot of leagues do that, and it's just because they like the double file restarts that like NASCAR does nowadays. Back in the day, they didn't do that. Actually, what they considered a double file restart was that the lead lap cars were on the high side, and the cars that were a lap down were on the inside. I'm surprised the leagues don't set it up and do that. Get rid of the lucky dog, which is the reason the lucky dog came out was literally for safety. Dale Jarrett had spun on the exit of the corner out of turn 4, was literally parked in the middle of the track, and they raced back. So they were all racing back. Very fortunate. Nobody hit him, but somebody in NASCAR said, that's not good.
Yeah.
We're going to kill a driver if something like that happens. So then they went to all right, we don't race back. And of course, NASCAR doesn't race back at all. And, they then because of that, they kind of came out with the lucky dog, which means normally you'd have to race your way back. So now they did it where they don't do the cars on the inside. The first car that is one or more laps down gets the lucky dog. And then, of course, we're all familiar with the wave around. If you're ahead of the leader, you get to go around. So,
Which by default, the thing does the double file with the lap cars on the inside, right? That's the default setting.
If you do the default setting, if you do the double wide starts, yes.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens when you come around through, I believe it's when you get the 1 to go sign, spotters will start telling you if you're a lap down, past this car, go to, inside, go up to the, to a certain point.
Getting ready to restart thing on lap 14. Remember, we will have another yellow at lap number 17.
And as Bob Sire, there is your control car. Chris Elliott behind him, Robert Spring in third, Larry D in fourth, Brad Faulkner in fifth, and rounding out the top 6 cars is Diver Down. Didn't take long. Larry says, I don't want to be in 4th spot, I want to go to the bottom. It all depends on how organized they get. So you see Larry go down to the bottom, Faulkner went with him, DVD Driver Down went with him. Even DJ was, looking at going down there with him, but they weren't organized enough like the 3 cars that are on the top. They were a little more organized, they were a little more tighter, possibly giving a little, shoves there on the start, and that helped them get out front and stay out front. Of course,
big turnout tonight too. 29 cars showed up tonight.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty awesome.
But there again, your Talladega, I have not figured out why, but they will come out of the woodwork for Talladega.
Yeah, if you want people to come to a race, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series mod from 2019, which is what you're looking at right now in Talladega, especially this track with this setup, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you got to know what you're doing, but it's definitely good advertising if you want people to come out and celebrate, especially an anniversary race like this.
You just saw on the broadcast, but it's broken up a little bit there now. Just a little while back on the broadcast, you saw Bob Sire, Chris Elliott. Ooh, Larry D. Round. I didn't know if you come off somebody's bumper or not, but you saw those 3 guys in the top groove. They were really just a lot more organized. And that bottom groove started getting it together, but I'm not sure what happened to Larry D there, but it disorganized that bottom groove again. We are coming.
Back it up and see
yellow
what
flag is coming out right now.
Oh, it is.
They are going to hit
yes.
the start-finish line there at the 17th lap. That's going to be I don't know if this is the caution for that.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think you would have to run lap 17, but then some would say 17 is when
okay,
you take,
so they threw the caution.
17. So
I'm assuming that they threw that, and that was probably the caution for
that's
lap
the
17.
stage, right?
Yeah.
Either running 17 or taking 17. I guess it is taking 17. We're going to see what happened to Larry D.
Which is going to be a benefit for Larry D, who I'm not sure what happened there because it kind of happened real quick, but he's going to be able to get some 4 fresh tires on that thing, repair any damage. Hopefully he didn't get any, but and get back out there and be ready to get at least the minimum right at the back of the pack.
Yeah, he just rolled right off the front. Wow, he just missed that wall too. The one that comes out of pit road there. Just missed it, which allowed the car to rotate a little bit more before impacting that other wall. So hopefully it's minimal damage. I mean, it's going to be damaged, but it would have been way worse if he went perpendicular into that other one.
Oh, you know what? Bob Sire just remembered me of something. Remember the rules here, can't low line. You forgot all about that. You cannot low line. So what that means is you can't be the leader and stay in the low line. Now, how that changes, if you're like Chris Elliott's going to be the lead car that goes down on the pit road. We're going to use him for an example. If you are on the bottom groove and you've taken the lead, you can't stay there. You're required to go, I don't know where the distance is, but you are required to go up a lane. The only thing that trumps that, especially on the super speedways, and we saw that the last time that they ran this track, is if you're on the bottom and somebody's on the high side, because you obviously can't go to the high side.
Yeah, it needs to be a safe move, but you got to work your way out of there.
You can't do that until, like it's 2 to go. And we've seen that with other tracks. It makes for some very, very interesting strategy. But like this track here, pretty much you're safe. That's probably why we saw like Robert Spring and a few of the other guys. As soon as they got out in front, they went and moved up into that middle line. We were thinking they were doing it for because that's sometimes it pretty much is the preferred groove, but they were doing it because of the low line rule.
Yeah, knowing they got to get out of that line, or otherwise face a post-race review, which would not be fun to get that memo after the race is done, thinking you got like a podium finish or maybe even win the race, and they find out on lap, 45 to 52, you were not giving up that line, even though you had multiple chances to do so. Follow the rules.
Over 18 laps in, only one retiree so far, that is Dirk Diggler. One car is a lap down, that is Lickity's Foot. He should be the lucky dog this time by and get himself back on the lead lap. Fastest lap set tonight so far is by Brian Wolf at 200.880 miles an hour. So we know that there's more speed than that out there. They just got to get somebody, and it sounds funny, but they literally have got to pull back a little bit, and you want to be about maybe 4 car lengths behind a group in front of you when you hit the start-finish line. And then hopefully you got people behind you, and then you pull up on them and you gain that extra speed. So if somebody wanted to go out there and try to be, set the fastest lap, that is how you would go about it.
Strategic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're getting optimal drafts too, right? Yep. The leader's never going to get that. The leader's going to get the bumps, but he's not going to get the draft.
Right.
When you're in the middle of the pack, you can get both. That's like you talk about the rubber band. That's where that starts flexing, and you get these average lap times of like 2:03 we saw one time. It's absolute insanity. An average lap time.
What was it at what track was it that we ran? I think it was Michigan on Wednesday. 210 mile an hour going into turn 1 at Michigan was insanely fast.
And that's an open setup league at ASR, so that's the reason. Is you've got guys running these different setups that are just wild, that might be super loose, but they know how to drive them.
I wouldn't know. I didn't get to run. I was in the booth.
In the booth.
I was in the booth calling the race. I couldn't get Brian Wolf to change with me, and it's all good. It is. Like I said, we're going to be doing some RTG stuff on Wednesday, so I'll go play RTG on Thursday.
Yeah, Rodney Sullins reached out, and they were interested in maybe trying out some Wednesday stuff, so we'll see where that takes us.
What mod? I think is it the Aero 88 mod they run on Wednesday?
Might be Barebones series. I can't remember. They've got a lot of different series going on over at RollingThunderGaming.com. So
was it Barebones Monday?
Okay.
Tuesday is iRacing. I don't know.
Wednesday.
They do have an Aero 88 night, so I'm wondering if that is the Wednesday night deal. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah. Nothing's set in stone yet, but yeah, they reached out and they showed some interest in that, so that just adds more races to our schedule.
Pace cars making
from that schedule. We'll see you on Tuesday at Sonoma with Maverick.
Pace cars making the trip down pit road. Single file restart. Jim Williams is the point car. Josh 2. Mike Mangialardi, Greg Palmer, and your 5th place car on this restart is going to be Robert Spring, followed by Brian Wolf, Kelly Causey, and the number 14 car. Ooh, Palmer, as always, right on it, right in the back of Mangialardi, giving him a good shot. Josh 2 was not there, so you see, how to do that. They're allowed to move down, up, down, wherever they want to go, but a little more organized there on the bottom.
So the next yellow flag for competition, caution, will be the 42nd lap. So they took the 17th lap, yellow comes out, they will take the 42nd lap, and then we'll do it again, and that'll lock them into the end.
You saw there, Jim Williams went out, led a lap down the backstretch, forced to give up that bottom groove because there was nobody on top of him. So Josh 2 might get a chance. I believe he's going to keep up the way they're going right now. If he gets out far enough, he will lead this lap. But Jim Williams isn't there. He was forced to move to that high line. Brian Wolf there got a thing going on in the high side. Kelly Causey behind him.
Oh, they're closing the door. Oh, maybe not. Trying to predict what's going to happen at Talladega is kind of impossible most of the time.
Once they get 3 wide, it's pretty easy to predict what's going to happen. Josh 2 and Jim Williams, right now, the way it is going to go backwards. See Robert Spring kind of pull up in front of Brian Wolf to take that momentum that's on the high side. Now, I'm not going to say he did that 100% the right way. We've seen the difference. You can get up there and slow down that line. Actually, he did a pretty good job of it. He got up there just right, and if you get up there just right, you don't slow the momentum of that line down. What happens a lot of times when that goes up there, so you can see like right there, Palmer going right to the high side. He did it in a way that he's not killing that momentum on that high side. He's actually improving it and pulling them along.
And look at the visual there, shows that too. He timed that move so perfectly that he was able to get the bump as the turn ended, so everybody was squared up.
But that's how good drivers do that. They're able to move up into a line of momentum and not slow it down. Because the worst thing that happens is when you pull up like that and you slow that line down, it takes a good lap and a half to get that momentum built up. Then the next thing you know, the bottom line or the middle line is come back at you. See, the nice thing about that is you got Greg Palmer out there out front. That's rocket. Out there, out front, in the middle lane. He does not have to give up that middle lane. Just can't run the bottom.
Right. Yeah, they say low lining, right? So if you're not blocking the low line, you're fine.
You look right now, like Josh 2, he's down there in the bottom. He's trying to make forward momentum. He doesn't have to pull up because he's not the leader.
Right.
But if he gets out in the lead, and gets out far enough out in the lead where he's ahead of Greg Palmer and there's room enough, then he is required to go to the top.
I would forget that if I was driving, then they would penalize the heck out of me post-race.
Me too.
I'm like, oh yeah, no low lines. Oh man.
I'm pretty sure though. I'm pretty sure if you were up there in that driver's room, somebody might remind you.
Probably, yeah. So FYI, buddy, no low line in it.
That was a high side, high, wide, and handsome. Chris Elliott, Bob Sire, driver down, Greg Faulkner, and that's Rick Kay behind him, all trying to get that high line going. Greg Palmer saw the momentum coming from the bottom. Now, it's not against the rules for him to go down there and do that.
He's not able to do it,
exactly what he was required to do. Went down there, led that lap, and then once he did, he's required to go to the high side. I know we keep bringing it up, but it is one of their rules, and it's kind of it makes for a little bit different style of racing, even here.
If you, like you said, if you're able to safely move out of that line.
Kazua's got that third groove up there working really, really good. abandoned a bunch of the guys that were there. It was pretty much him, Chris Elliott, Bob Sire, all pulled down in front of Greg Palmer there, Rocket. And they, like I said, middle lane, really, 90% of the time, everybody wants to be in that middle lane. There are some guys that really kind of like the bottom. Like I said, it's too tight for me. But, they get in that middle lane, and they really, make it happen, especially on this version of the Talladega that John Godfrey had just made. Speaking of John Godfrey, is he still out there?
Yep. Wait. I don't see him.
Don't see him either. He was in here earlier.
Yeah, he was in the 7-Eleven. That's what he drives, and now I don't see him.
I just went down GNL TV, and I said, whoops, he's not here.
Yeah, we had more. There's only 29 guys who started this race. I wonder if he was locked out of that reset.
Looking at the entry list, he has retired, so he probably never took the green. And like you said, quite possible. I know that some of the drivers, and he may very well have been one of the drivers, basically got the invite. Fun, 23-year anniversary race. Come on over and have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we were hanging out with Robert Spring there before the race, and he said the same thing. He goes, "Oh yeah, they contacted me and wanted to know if I'd be in the grid," and grabbed a car, and here we are.
Well, Robert ran originally. I don't know if this was the very first league that he ever ran, online racing is, but he was one of the members that were over here.
I think he was an administrator too, he said, and it was one of his first leagues that he really committed to, and then he, moved on from it, but that's cool that they reach out to invite him back for this.
Yeah, and me and Robert became friends due to the broadcasting, and then we got him into playing golf with us in Valheim, and Are We There Yet?
Yep.
Robert will be at my house. I gotta get with him again because I figured exactly when, but he's coming up 1st of July. I'm gonna spend a little time up there, and we're gonna show him.
Weekend.
I think it's gonna be a little more on the weekend, but we're gonna go out, show him. I'd say what Vermont's famous for, but there ain't much up here in Vermont. But we're gonna go take him over and show him the racetrack where I race the go-karts, and actually the racetrack where I cut my teeth, as a youngster, racing street stocks. But basically the go-kart track is in the infield of the track that I raced when I was a youngster. And then we're going to try to get him over so they can see Loudon, because that's not that far away. It's about an hour and a half from the track that I race at. We might, depending on how the day goes, there's a lot of nice little short tracks up here we might see if we can't find and show them.
That's pretty awesome. Back there in 26th position, just focused on Ralph LeBlanc.
He was involved in that one pretty good sized wreck there around lap 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Speeds look like, well, of course, he's doing 180, which is kind of, I think, probably a little bit faster when you're by yourself. But there again, depends on the setup as well, too.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like he's damaged then, because, 180 alone is usually about the speed you're running, so that's interesting.
Could very well be that he just managed to get shuffled out and lost the draft.
Yeah, sometimes that works too, yeah. And now he's 20 seconds
many
behind.
a time. I've had that happen way more than I care to admit.
You can see it slipping away too. I hate that feeling.
It sucks. And it's just usually, you made a mistake, enough of a mistake to the point where, you lost the draft, and you're just, it's amazing how much slower you go. But luckily for him, would you say it was lap 40 something?
Lap 42.
Oh, he's about 9. This question is, I can just see him looking out there in front of Kelly Causey. He is just way at the other end of that straightaway. So being so far though, 46, that's lickety split, and I'm trying to remember who the 88, and that is Jack Haley. They are currently 1 lap down. So depending on where they hit that, and how damaged Ralph is, he might be able to get right in with this pack and stay with them, and hopefully be one of the lucky dogs.
Yeah, lucky dog is a big deal, especially on a massive track like this.
Yeah. Because it's not going to make up. The only way you're going to make up time is you got to be fast enough to get out front and basically keep everybody behind you and hope for a caution. And that's hard to do.
Especially with the more drivers you end up having.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the only way you can do that is if, you got a bunch of your friends out there and they're like, yeah, well, we'll help you. Don't worry. We'll get you out front. That's how it works. You're a lap down. 90% of these guys don't even want to race you.
No.
No, you're a lap down. You shouldn't even be anywhere near us, and seen that happen. Ryan Wolf looking up there in that third goose. So that middle lane, thus far, they're keeping together pretty good. Brian Wolf right there behind Robert Spring has been poking out there just a little bit. They get a nice little run, but they just don't have the momentum when every time they pull out to try it, it's just not working. If they can do that, they'll hopefully get up there and slow that middle lane down a little bit.
And lap traffic can be a bonus sometimes.
Or a hindrance,
a bonus.
depending on where.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Right
can catch
now-
the draft. Like right now, it looks like he might be pitting.
So right
Nope.
now, Ralph Bonk is on the bottom, so that's great for the guys that are in the middle groove. Not so great for those guys that were on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's not like he did anything wrong. It's not like, you have to go high, you have to go low. You just got to pick a lane.
Yeah. And he's got the power because we were watching his speeds by himself. He's not damaged.
Yeah.
So he's able to hang with these guys. Unfortunately, LeBlanc right now is a lap down.
But the key important thing is he's ahead of Lickety Split and Jack Haley. So if he can stay there for another 6 laps, he should be the lucky dog and will get a chance to come around at the end of the field and hopefully be able to make his time back up and get back to the front. So I say right now he's pretty much just trying to stay ahead of those other drivers. I don't remember, do they do 1 lucky dog or 2 over here?
It's usually 2. I don't have a solid answer for you though.
Yeah,
I believe it's 2.
forget.
It's very popular being 2.
Which in that
Which
case,
means, yeah.
he would be in a much better position. Him and Lickety Split would get the lap back. Unfortunately, should have caused, when the caution comes out at lap 42, Jack Haley, at his current position, would not be eligible for the lucky dog.
Could get it back on a weird pit stop though. Although I don't know why you'd want to skip pitting this late in the race, but
you could, if when the caution drops at lap 42, if you decide to stay out and don't pit, you would be considered ahead of the leader, and you would be eligible for the wave around, they call it, and you would be able to go around, pick up the back of the pack. The only thing about that is you just kind of want to hope that a caution comes out before you have to pit for fuel.
right, because then you're so far off the pace,
Yeah.
right? You're like, oh man.
Ooh, somebody up in the fence back there. Looked like Larry D. We got pit stops happening right now. So I wonder, are these drivers that are pitting to position themselves for the last run?
Yeah. Interesting, yeah, because it's technically a little bit early, right?
I didn't pay attention to the laps to whether or not they could, but there are other drivers that are staying out there. Mind you, no points awarded, no points, halfway points, no stage points, no nothing. So some of these drivers might be under the thought maybe that if they pit now, they get out and they can get ahead of the lead cars, caution comes out, they're going to have to pit. This is going to move them to the front of the field. The question is whether they can get in and out and do it quick enough without losing a lap.
Kazi, Palmer, 66 of Garland Davis, Brian Wolf back there, all headed in to get their service.
Could very well be that it was just that close on fuel.
Yeah. And like I said, too, another 5 laps away before they throw that competition. Yellow flag.
John Williams in second in the charge. DJ's leading Robert Spring, and then that one is Mike Ireland. 4 cars. They just barely starting to get up to speed. You look in the background behind them. I saw Faulkner back there. I don't think he is pitted yet. So they may have got out and got up to speed quick enough. Ooh, another bomb rush to get down pit road. So that's interesting, just the way that all played out.
Yep.
They had to pit.
Yeah. Three different strategies, because we're coming in over the span of 3 different laps. Set my cameras up here.
So I was looking to see, Chris Elliott was the leader, and then he is currently on pit road. So, I'm just wondering if anybody could have made it, anybody saved enough. Faulkner's coming out. One thing I love about this track, though, they exit on the backstretch.
Yeah, that's much safer.
I think that's the only way to do it with this track.
Unlike Dover. Oh, time to go.
Yeah.
There's a look at Brad Faulkner there.
Getting close to where the competition caution is going to be.
Faulkner here all by himself, being billed as the race leader.
But it's going to be when he hits the start-finish line is the big question.
Yeah, because
So
this
the
is now
yellow flag
reshuffling.
is out now.
A couple laps early. Wonder if we have
That's what
an
I was
accident.
thinking. So when we hit the start-finish line, Scott Gillimon is going to be your leader. Second is going to be Ricky Kay. And Faulkner is going to come out in the 3rd spot, followed by Josh 2, DJ, and the 20 of Jim Williams.
And there we just saw the pace car slowing the field down. Like I say, this thing was set to go yellow at 42, so they will just remain under yellow. We do have a couple cars a lap down, so those add lap to the pacing sequence.
Just looking, and it was not a yellow that they called out. So we can see them, if in the chat, if somebody on the admin team brings out the yellow flag, we'll know that. And this was not a admin thrown yellow. There was an incident somewhere on the track that we missed.
Well, now I'm going to go
Now
look
you
for
got to
it.
go find it, don't you?
Yep.
Love making him work for it.
Yep.
It's kind of funny, though. Everybody that just pitted, right, are coming down pit road. Now, the question that we didn't see, did Ralph LeBlanc pit? But that, he might have. Well, currently right now, he's staying out.
Oh, did I miss it again? I was on the right car. Okay.
So I was just told, or how'd you do that? Wait a minute, I don't have the wait minute. Here we go. Right? We've just told that was the competition caution. Because there was an incident and where it happened,
That'll count. Yeah.
they are going to count it and call it as the competition caution.
Right. So we will go back green when this sequence is done. Then it doesn't necessarily have to be lap 42.
Right.
They're just going to count that this one was it and then move on.
Unfortunately, somebody spilt the bottle of Fireball there. Somebody got into the back of Kern, jumped over his Fireball.
Jack Daniels has a cinnamon whiskey, and it's great.
I haven't tried that, but I have heard that it's pretty good.
Yeah, because Fireball's good, but it's cheap. Jack is a little bit more expensive, but it's good stuff.
I haven't run out of the Fireball yet, so. But you can't get that up there either, can you? You might have just added another bottle to the box.
Yeah, really. Great big stack. Cars back here with no trunk lids. That right there was Gilliman. Lennon Gilliman. We got two of them out here.
Scott and Lennon.
Oh, we got
a bunch of cars coming down the pit road this time, Bob.
Yep.
So we see they went from about lap 18 to about lap 39? I think they're running 2X. We're very familiar with that. So we know for a fact, it's going to be really, really close on fuel. I think there's going to have to be a pit stop in here if we don't have a caution. Might not be. It's going to be really close.
Some of these guys are so good at conserving. I don't know, man. I'd be surprised.
I think the guys that are familiar with this, that, go out there and again are going to conserve the fuel, they might be able to make it. We'll just have to wait and see. We're not the experts up here at Super Speedway Racing. We just cover a lot of it.
And we've seen some wild stuff happen. Fuel-saving strategies, late passes on the last lap, stuff like that.
We've even seen the driver a few weeks back run out of gas on the last lap coming to the end of the race. Unfortunately, that caused a big melee, but Mark Paglia was able to just drive through it all and go come out with a win. I think
he was at a gas when he hit the line in that race. There was a lot of people running out of gas on the last lap. That was crazy.
He ran out of gas. Somebody tapped him to congratulate him, spun him around. He couldn't go anywhere. He was out of gas.
Yeah.
But isn't it RTG that put him in the, top 16 because of a win? I believe that does put him in as a winner, so he's automatically in.
Right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. If you have a win, it's a guarantee. And you race a minimum of set of races, too.
So
you can't just come in and win one race and then never come back. They want you to be dedicated a little bit.
Lickety split rolling up there to the front. But pace car lights are off. Wonder if they do have it set up for double file and the lap cars do start on the inside.
Yeah. Where's the rest of them, though? That's the thing.
Yeah, well, I was looking over to the GNL TV, and I don't see LeBlanc back on the lead lap yet, but that could change. Kelly causes the control car. Nope. Did not go. So, hold on. Weird. Why did it... Pace car came back out, but with no lights on.
Yeah. I see him down there now, rolling the apron.
So, the old whisper in my head, wait a minute, how do I put this? The voices in my head said that Ralph LeBlanc blew up trying to get around as the lucky dog.
Oh, that's no fun.
And that's why it kind of went back, I guess, under caution, but it's technically not under caution. It just added a lap. You see, the voices in my head, they give me all kinds of great information. That's
a good thing they're bothering you, because I got my own stuff to deal with back here too, running the broadcast. I mean, this is Talladega's pretty. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's muscle memory now.
Yeah. Basically, Robert Spring, who is one of the drivers out there, and I, or like I said, we play games together, the three of us, and he's been feeding me information when it's prevalent, we're sitting here going, what happened,
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, if I'd have looked over here, my in-race reporter, Pumpkin, would have told me that he blew up.
Yeah, it's too bad. Random NASCAR 2003 stuff. Why not, eh? Lap number 44 is about to begin.
But now, with that extra caution lap in there, that might change things up a little bit for some of these drivers. Because seeing what's happened, what we were talking about earlier, where lickety split, and I believe, hold on, I went too far. Haley are both a lap down, but because they're doing it the old way, they start on the inside. All right, now I'm really confused.
Yeah. Somebody's out of sequence. The pace car will not leave the track. So I'm thinking something's out of sequence here. He's staying down. The pace car goes in, then comes back out again. Like I said, join us on Tuesday at Sonoma with the Maverick Cup Series live at 8:30 right here on Tarnation TV YouTube channel. If you're subscribed, you get the thing, the doorbell button and all that cool stuff.
Let's try something here. I'm going to grab somebody.
Yeah.
Larry D, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Tell that pace car driver to get out of the way.
We're a little confused.
Well, what's going on is that there was an incident under caution as we were just about to go back to green. And it seems like there's a lot of accordion effect going on under the pace lap. And that doesn't really fare well.
Okay, so I was just curious why the pace car goes in and then comes back out. That's all.
Yeah, we're just about to go green, and then that stuff happened.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us a little bit of the insight, because we were kind of curious what's going on there, bud.
You know what? I was getting curious too. I said, "What the heck is going on?" Then we almost went green one time before this, and then Ralph's engine blew.
Well, we knew that. So.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm gonna let you get back up there, get after it. So have fun.
All right, very good.
All right, let's see what the pace car does this time. Hopefully it stays out of the way. Everybody's lined up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's talking about the accordion effect, because you've got cars coming and going, and they're supposed to be in certain positions, and they're not. So then they end up doing an extra lap.
Kelly Kaza is the control car. Brian Wolf right there behind him. I believe that is Mike Ireland in third. It is. Davis in second.
We get green.
Rocket back there in the fifth, and of course we're talking about the outside line. The two cars on the inside line are a lap down. So they are using it like the game would have it set up to be, where they're doing double file restarts where the lap down cars go to the bottom side to try to go up there and get their lap back. But they do offer a lucky dog for one driver, and unfortunately for Ralph LeBake, it was him with the motor blue.
There's another big wreck on the back straightaway there. Multiple cars involved in that one. We'll back that up and take a look at it once these guys get around to the front straightaway here.
No, I don't think I thought it was 10 or less to go with a race back, but
I believe it is, yes.
Shouldn't be racing back, I guess. They're not
racing back in the first 50, and then the last 10 they race back.
They weren't racing back. They just weren't letting off, and causing a chaotic, situation. Kelly Causey kept up to speed, and just, once they get past the start-finish line, you'll see them slow down on the backstretch and miss the pace car. A lot of times you'll see these guys fan out all over the place just to make sure the guys behind them have room enough or places to go should they have an issue. And I just saw Rocket turn right extremely hard.
Scott Gilliman into the wall bad.
Yep.
Oh, and then he got clobbered. Who clobbered him?
Ooh, yeah, that was I just turned and look at the oh, wow.
49.
EJ, come in there.
Johnson, yeah. Don't even really know how this started. Like, it just was a bump, I guess. A bump gone bad. on the 15 there. Yeah, he had a run on the 46 and was trying to get around him, and the 3 was there. So, I mean, that's really kind of spinned himself out.
Scott Gillen did a little bit of roof sliding. Looks like the Intimidator and him just ran out of room there.
That's too bad.
Some of the drivers are just trying to find room to get around it and really had nowhere to go.
Sometimes you just get lucky.
I just see Rocket, of course we know that is to be Greg Palmer, and then take fuel. No tires, so we know pretty much we're going to guess that anybody that's pitted from here should be able to make it. I would imagine the rest of the guys who pitted earlier should, by our calculations, be able to make it on fuel. After all of that chaos there, Kelly Cause is still the lead control car out there, followed closely by Brian Wolf. Looks like Mike Ireland. Davis. 5th place is Robert Spring. 6th is Rick Kay. Lickety Split still kind of hanging out there. He's going to try to see if he can't get back on the lead lap.
Been around the whole night. It's not over yet. It's a long race.
Then Chris Elliott back there in the 7th position. Lennon Gilliland there. The back of that car is bent, tweaked, wrecked, but it just goes to show we talked about it earlier. The nose is pristine. Still hanging in there pretty good. We've seen cars like that. As long as they have other cars around them, they can still run relatively well. And 9th is Diver Down. 10th right now currently is Larry D. We talked to him a minute ago trying to figure out just what was going on. He got us straightened out and let us know what was going on. Currently still running in the 10th position. We saw him have a little bit of an episode earlier, so hopefully he can kind of get things squared away and work his way towards the front. I had to take a drink. Long day today.
Yeah. Lights are still flashing. That's what happens when you get the extra car lap down. They'll add an extra one. Some leagues will have a custom executable on the server side where they can actually force that to go green, but
I think they
do.
Just because they have to have that to be able to pull out the caution. So imagine that. I think it's that same one. They could shorten it up, but some leagues, like they just did, they actually, normally the lights will go off at the start-finish line if the game's doing it.
Oh, there it is.
They waited until the middle of 1 and 2.
Gotcha. So that was a 1 to go last time we went by. Yeah, right on.
We're going to be, 17 laps to go?
Mm-hmm. If it's green the entire way, that's a close one on fuel and...
We've had a few cautions. You think about Kelly Kaza, Brian Wolf, Mike Eiler, the guys that did not pit. I'm pretty sure we haven't really been paying attention, but probably all of them guys those guys are clutching for everything that they're worth. But guys that just did pit, we know pretty sure they can make it on fuel. Who knows? Maybe none of them can make it on fuel. We'll just have to wait and see. Pumpkin, where is he hiding at? Said that, okay, we got 12 to go. Sorry, you're right. He's corrected me that it is 12 to go, and he's showing 16. So there is no problem. They should be able to make this without a problem. I did my number dyslexia thing and added backwards.
I do the same thing sometimes.
That's why they have Bob.
Twos and sixes. I'm like, no, it's
Yep.
a 26 on the 62, and flip them around for no reason.
That's why they have Bob there. He helps me out.
Yep.
Two Bobs.
49
One
about to
whispers.
start.
Two Bobs. One whispers at me and one chats at me. Next time around, it's gonna be 10 to go. So next thing is, you can see where Kelly Causey's running. He can run that line without any penalties. So he might gonna stay right up there as long as he can. Rick Kay gone down to the bottom. Trying to see if he can make something happen, but he does not have enough help there. Diver Down is coming to the rescue, but just two of them are not going to beat that high line. You can look at that high line all the way back to Chris Elliott. Nice, tight, right in order. That's going to be hard to beat with two drivers.
Straight as a pin. That's how guys like Brian Wolf are getting a 200-mile-an-hour average lap time. Sorry, you're going to say something about Kelly Causey?
I was going to, but just noticed that Davis with Robert Spring, Chris Elliott, Lennon Gilliland they decided, well, you know what? We're not gonna wait. You know, we've got 10 laps to go. It's time for us to make up some time. They made that high line, and they are making it work. They're a little bit more organized. They got 5 cars versus the 3, and with Ireland a little bit off the pace of Brian Wolf, they're not going to be able to hold them guys off, keep them back there.
10 laps to go, so we will be racing back if a yellow does happen to come out. There will be no more stage cautions or any of that stuff. It's all been taken care of, so it's go time now.
High line kind of separated just a little bit, especially when Brian Wolf abandoned it. And that made the bottom line a little bit tighter right now, but Chris Elliott with a quick move to the bottom, sees that line of the bottom, starting to make up some time, move down there in front of it. And like I said, I'm always, talking about how they do it right or do it wrong. Did it exactly right. He got out there, made that line quicker, and did not slow that line down at all. Although they did lose Mike Ireland for a little bit there, which could hurt him. But Ireland is coming back with Rick Kay down at the bottom and a few others behind them. Now Elliott trying to abide by the rule, can't stay at the bottom, kind of muscling himself up into that middle groove, keeping himself in that middle groove. Davis is still trying really hard on that high side. Being about probably 6 more laps, then it kind of opens up the ability to run the bottom groove the whole way around. See if anybody decides to take advantage of that. Where we get to this time of the race, most of the time we see a lot more, people driving right down at the bottom. With the rule here, that you can't, look where they're all driving. They're literally, both of them are in the middle lane.
That's the great thing about this track being so wide.
Yep.
The low line means the low line. They're not running a low line. They're running a fast line. If it was no fast line, then it'd be a different rule.
You look at Chris Elliott. He has got that the first dotted line there about in the middle of his car, and Davis there a while back, he was using his tires on the outside there. Summing around. There goes Williams up. See some more contact back there. They will race back. So who's going to make it is going to be Davis or Elliott. We know Elliott's going to get a better run on the inside, just the way it works out. If they can form up good enough, that bottom line is going to be prevail. But look at that high grooves. I think they're a little bit more organized.
Creeping, yep.
3 cars Davis up there really pushing. Here comes Wolf. Going to be probably a little bit too late. So Jake Davis is going to lead that lap. Good possibility, like green, white, checkered finish.
It's possible.
Maybe. Depends on how quickly they get this thing going. I would imagine if they do like a quickie caution, they can get a green, white, checkered in. That's the way I would do it if I had control of it. But
And like with control of the yellows like that, they can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, RTG on Thursdays. It's kind of neat how they do it. So I've always talked about how with having control of cautions, you have to be consistent. I don't care how you do it, but you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
What's really cool about what RTG does, caution will come out, and if it's a situation where there is no car one lap down, they will tell you it's only going to be, they have control. It's only going to be 2 laps. So, and then if it isn't, they'll say it's going to be 3. And that way so you know what before you even get to the pit road, you know what scenario you're going to be, and then that way you can just choose whether or not you're going to pit, stay out, try to lead a lap or however.
Looks like just getting an angle on this here. Was it Donnie Cameron, the 87, just got into the quarter panel on the back of that 21, or the 20. Roof flaps doing the job, keeping it down. Oh, he shot right back across the track. Tagged the back corner of the 22. Is that what happened? 22 of Rocket.
It's weird watching the replay on there. What sent? I want to know is what sent Cameron around. Oh, okay, I see it there. It was just a kind of a lot of bumping, banging, a little bit of. Looks like DJ might have caught him.
And that was the thing with Palmer in the 22. He was almost clear of that, but when the 20 landed, it hooked, and then it went straight to him.
I missed that in that angle that we were looking at. I missed that part of it. What kind of saved
a quarter second, he would have been past it. That's a rear end
Williams
damage.
from hitting the wall a ton, but it didn't help Rocket at all.
No. Just got him, which is horrible timing. Oh, and it looks like Palmer has retired from the race because of it.
And you watch that replay of that. When that car leaves the ground, you no longer have a whole lot of control of it.
No. You can try to drive it. It's not making contact with the planet Earth. There's not much you could do.
So like I said, this seems weird to me, but this is like you said. Now we're down less than 10 to go. We are lined up double file, which is different. We always talk about how different leagues do different stuff. So Davis is the control car on the bottom, Chris Elliott on the high side. Robert String's been running up there all night long, around the top 5, top 6. Diver down, Kelly Causey, Brian Wolf, that is Lennon Gillilan and Mike Ireland, then Rick Kay, and rounding out the top 10 is Brad Faulkner with, we're going to say, 4 laps to go.
Yeah.
Just over a green-white checker.
Great start by both those guys.
To say Davis with a little bit better start, but Elliott having Diver down behind him kind of helped him a little bit more. We're very familiar with what happens on the restarts here. The inside line, without any help, usually gets a better run in, but as soon as they come off that turn 2, that rubber band, as I always call it, winds up a little bit, and that high side seems to get a little bit better run. Now that you look at that high line, we've got 5, 6 cars up there, nose to tail. Once they get that thing going, which is about right about now, that rubber band is as wound up as tight as it's going to go, they're going to probably pull away on that from turn 4 down to the start-finish line. But with 5 to go, anything could happen from here on out.
I wonder if Diver Down's got the most colorful car.
Old Smoking Joe's. As Kyle would say, it was Jimmy Spencer's old paint scheme. The 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The purple, the yellow, the orange.
I know a little bit. I don't know as much as Kyle does, but I know a little bit.
Yeah, that guy's an encyclopedia.
Yes.
It's just, hey, who wrote the, where'd that paint scheme come from? And he'll tell you what year. It looks like we got a yellow up in the air, so we're racing back, and this might be it.
pretty good chance with 2 to go. It's going to be
60's
the one
got to run, though. 60's got to run.
Look at Elliott on the bottom.
Yeah. Man.
This is going to be
Wolf.
close. Is it going to be Kazi? Is it going to be Elliott? Who's going to get the push? Elliott. No, it's Kelly Kazi's going to get it. Elliott second.
Man.
Brian Wolf third.
Brian Wolf and Rick K in the 8 were pushing. Like, that high line was walking past those guys.
What a finish right there, though.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. I'm like, wait a second, this is going to be over.
You go, Kelly Kazi first, Chris Elliott, 0.04 seconds behind. Brian Wolf, 0.06. Diver down, 0.11. Rick K, 0.13.
Yeah.
Robert Spring, 0.18. Oh, look at this. The 66. And Robert Spring tied across the line. Obviously, Robert's got a little bit lower number in the, but all the way back to the 10th place. There's not that much. They're right there, very, very tight.
Here we're going to look at the pass. You can see the 60 able to get a nose out on the 9 at the line, so the 9 will end up in second, and the 29 will end up in third. Now the question is, what brought out the yellow?
That was really, really close between Chris Elliott and Brian Wolf. Somebody who was behind Brian Wolf, if they had just given him a little extra shot, second place would have been his. Would he have beaten Kelly Kaza? No, but Kelly Kazi. But no, but it would have been. Might have got him second.
Oh man, it was the 3 of the Intimidator upside down here on the back straightaway. There's Josh 2.
So we're going to call these unofficial results. We do know that they will review the race afterwards, but we got 3 drivers there. Kelly Kazi, we got Chris Elliott, and Brian Wolf. They still have got to make it around 2 more laps. I just looked over at the replay. That's what happens when you try to fly without a pilot's license.
Yep. And then another little wreck happened in front of that too, so unfortunately this is going to end under yellow.
It's very weird how that car flipped over, landed on its roof, and just stayed there.
It was kind of the smoothest little kind of backflip 360.
It landed and stayed. A lot of times we see as soon as it hits the transition or anything like that, it flips back over. That thing just stayed on the roof and just slid. We can try to do this play-by-play style. Here we are now, coming to the 1 to go.
Yeah, exactly. 1 to go here now. I mean, they could shut the lights off right now. We could. I mean, they would have shut the lights off by now if they were going to do it.
Yeah. Here comes the famous Blaine Donnelly. Oh, and they're going. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So Kelly Kazi does not race over here all the time. I do know that Chris Elliott.
Chris does,
yeah, doesn't race all the time. We've done a few of the races here for their Monday night series. And I know Chris used to be. There was a couple of months when we were doing the IROC mod for them, where Chris was one of the guys that was going for the championship, and as luck would have it, it just never worked out for him. I think he's taken a little bit of break from that, but I do know that he does run here a little bit more often. Then you got Brian Wolf. I do know that he, I've looked in the points, does run here on occasion, but he's not a regular racer over here. We do know the diver down is Rick K is. Let's see who else we got there.
Yeah, they got the
Davis,
core guys.
I'm not sure. Yeah, and Robert Springs, just a kind of we'll call him an implant. They invited him to come back over. Bob Sire does race over here on occasion, but not on a regular basis.
This final lap brought to you in part by Open Speedway. Happy 23rd birthday.
Going to be the fastest final lap in world history.
Yeah,
the last last lap was, instead of being, Kelly Kazi's best lap of the race.
So I think it's not over till it's over. This is lap 60, and you do have to run lap 60.
Okay, so I was just informed by the voices in my head. Once they cross the start-finish line, all right, the race is official. Kelly Kazi, Chris Elliott, and Brian Wolf should be the victors.
Okay.
But this is what's going to happen. They're going to have a last lap shootout for fun. When the pace car hits the start-finish line, I imagine that's probably going to be Kelly Kazi up there that's going to say, "Go." And
I see. Yeah, because when the checkers are out, the race servers, like the race is just shut down, but they can keep running. So they're going to do... This is, like you say, this is your official standings, what you're looking at right now on your screen. Kasi, Elliott, and Wolf. But we are going to go and do a one-lap sprint just to see what we can do here. As long as everybody's got enough gas, which I don't believe is an issue.
The voices in their head, I'm telling you, they're talking crap to me back and forth here. They are not going to do that because they don't want to mess up the export. I guess they're afraid it might mess it up. So
will it though? If this... Yeah, maybe... I don't know if it would or not.
I'm not sure, but they were going to, so...
Yeah.
Either way, Kelly Kazi comes out with the victory. Second place is going to be Chris Elliott. Third place is going to be Brian Wolf. At the line, there was a little bit of argy-bargy there, and Diver Down was able to sneak in front of Brian Wolf, but we all know that he was the third place guy.
Yeah, it'll say Diver Down, but it's actually Wolf in third.
And now the chaos ensues. Let's see, 5 wide. Let's see, Diver Down. What a save by Brian Wolf on that.
Wolf got super loose. That was crazy.
What a save, though.
Yeah. How many are they going to do? Just the one? Or are we going to just keep? Let's just keep going. We're running out of gas.
They're going to do it. Now they're doing it.
Keep going, guys. Got lots of time. They're not lifting.
They're not lifting.
No.
But this is what you do when a race is over. You just want to have fun.
There goes Pumpkin. There goes, Elliott.
And Wolf has now become a pilot for a moment. Robert Springs get in there behind Kelly Kazi, and let's see if he can give him enough of a shove. Kind of interesting to do this because there is nothing, they're just doing having fun. That's what they've been doing all night. I was just gonna say, I think I saw a lickety split.
Oh wow! Look, he's split the uprights. The pace car left. He wants nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Kelly Kazi says, "No, we're gonna do our burnouts."
Oh, it's Kazi doing a burnout. I'm watching these guys do the fake race.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna do a burnout while they're still running.
That could end very badly, but
just a little bit, yeah.
Ooh. What was that masked man that just went whipping by? You changed the camera. I was looking to see if you caught it.
Somebody just missed him. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. I can back it up and check.
Whipping by. It was a green car, whoever it was. But all right, let's see if we can find Mr. Wolf. Is he still in there? Yes, he is. Brian Wolf, you got Ron Blaine in the booth live. Do you have a copy?
Affirmative.
So you got the invite to come over here tonight, have a little bit of fun. Ran around that top kind of 6 pretty much all night long. Get down to it. You come out and finish 3rd for the night. Not a bad showing. We know that you are a super speedway monster and run that quite often.
Monster.
So, but not a bad finish for you, bud.
DVD gave me that third place, and I'll tell you what a fun race, man. That was a blast. It's nice because you guys cover a lot of races for us over at ASR, and it's so nice not to have to govern these knuckleheads and keep track of the race, and you know what I mean. But I'll tell you what, these guys are good, clean racers over here, man. What a blast! And for me to come up third, I told them that's a win. And as we were going there, those yellow cautions that we had towards the end saved my life because I wasn't going to make it on fuel.
We were wondering about fuel.
Yeah, once I knew I could make it, then I told Kelly as we were going, I said, I'm not leaving you, no matter what. So that worked out actually pretty good.
And just Chris Elliott was just able to, just sneak away from you there at the very end, that outside line, just got a little bit more momentum. Was able to get up there and steal that second place away from me. But like you said, you were right there behind Kelly pushing, and obviously Kelly owes you a beer or something for sticking with him and helping him, walk away with the win here tonight.
I'll tell you what, though, what a fun race. Hats off to these guys. I mean, this was big. I mean, to podium in this race, and I know they put this together kind of this past week, and 23 years. They've been here 23 years. I've been here 3 or 4 weeks. And to be a part of this is, man, what an honor. Because I've always known about Open Speedway, they always race too late for me. And as of late, I've come over here and just been having a ball, man. And to come up third in this race in particular is such an honor. I mean, I'm just, wow. I'm almost at a loss for words. Congratulations to Kelly. And that was just, man, that was fun.
Blaine, you have any questions for Brian?
I'm curious if the 60 lap count messes anybody up because we're used to 47 or 66 or 76.
It's kind of strange. Not strange, but they do it a little bit different here. With the race being only 60 laps, they do a 2 competition yellows. One at 17 laps, I believe, and then the other one come at 42. Well, it just so happened that the cautions flew during those laps, so they kind of fell right on time. And then, man, fuel was really close at the end there from how they throw that yellow. But then they had an issue with they had like 2 or 3. They had to keep throwing the yellow to get these guys lined up or something. But that only helped me and Kelly because I know he was going to be close on fuel too, and I wouldn't have made it without that. So thanks to the guys behind me, I think it was DVD pushing me, and we were working together, really good throughout the whole race. I got, me and Kelly were together, and man, it worked out really well. I'm just very grateful to be a part of this.
Well, there you go. Show up for non-points race, fun race, celebrate 23 years at Open Speedway. Come out with a 3rd place finish. That's pretty awesome. We'll give you the opportunity to thank anybody you would like, my friend. The floor is yours.
I appreciate that, man. Absolutely. I got to thank my brand name sponsor, Fluid Studios, and also congratulations to all the admins over here and Ralph LeBlanc. 23 years, like I said, that's quite the milestone, and for a league to be in existence, and thanks to all these guys over here for such a nice welcome over here, and I look forward to more of these, man. It's just been every race I've been in over here has just been a great experience, a fun, positive experience. It's been a blast, and thanks to you guys, man. It's always fun getting to hang out with you guys, especially under these circumstances.
But yeah, of course, because you usually come up to tell us about the Saturday night race and thank the sponsors and stuff. And tonight you're actually up here visiting after the race because you did well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's rare.
It's a little rare.
That's what makes it so special to do it in this race in particular.
Hey, but, I got my opportunities to throw my digs in, man. I got to go for it. So, congratulations, bud, and we'll see you probably. Well, I don't know. I probably, from what I'm hearing, I won't be there. I won't be there Wednesday. So
you guys will see us right around the first week of July, I think.
Yeah, that's right too. Because Blaine's got other things going on. So I will be racing Thursday, and I will be racing there Saturday. So we'll see you then. But congratulations on your 3rd place finish.
Oh, absolutely. And just real quick, if I could, I want to throw a shout out to Nate Balser, and ASR is hosting his cancer awareness race this year, coming up in late September. So yeah, I want to throw a shout out to him and plug that race. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a good time. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Thanks,
Good
Brian.
job, Brian.
Yeah, great run there, man.
Yes, that was Mr. Chris Elliott. You got Rod Blaine live in the booth. You got a copy.
Yeah.
I do. I see I'm out of the penalty box now. I thought I was in big trouble. So
I had to change the name of the room. It was
I
called
saw
the
that.
penalty box. I'm like, wait a second. I changed that
I
to
saw
waiting
the
room.
live change pop up. I'm like, oh, shoot. What are they doing to me?
Well, it's kind of something we learned on Saturday nights. We've been doing this thing about where Saturday nights they decided that they wanted to, for perfect example, Mr. Elliott, you just got wrecked. How do you feel?
Yeah.
We had to actually make a waiting room so that the drivers that were up there, we would bring them down to that room and say, that man, okay, guess what? You're going live in a little bit, so just compose yourself, then you can have your fun. But anyways, you ran really up front almost all night. Typical Chris Elliott style with the super speedway stuff. Always very, very competitive, you and your brother are. Not a bad night for you, really, all in all. Come down to that last little bit, you got the good push and was able to just beat out Brian Wolf there at the end.
Yeah, and thanks for mentioning I'm always up front in these races. I don't know where you got that from. I mean, I used to be. I've lost my touch. Those RTG races on Thursdays, I can't even qualify to get in those things. So they have knockouts. My qualifying's horrible. But real happy the way my car ran tonight. And the guys that I had around me helping me all night was tremendous. So I just want to thank those guys. That's the reason why I'm where I'm at.
But you also got to remember, the key important thing on Thursday night, be in the top 30.
Well, yeah, but if you don't race the season before, you got to, that's true. You're right. Top 30 would be great. I can do that if I can get in the race.
I'm going to give you a little clue, okay? I raced the first one. I didn't make the second one. I raced the third one. I was in the top 30 in points.
Yep, I just got to get my cue better. So I can
There you go. You just got to. Well, I suck at qualifying, but anyways, that's just I had to throw my digs at you when I had the chance. I got a chance to do that with Brian Wolf a minute ago. I had to get mine in on you, but no, all in all, you had a really good night tonight. The Food Line Ford, what do they call it, Dark Horse Mustang, was pretty darn quick tonight.
Yeah, first let me just say it's so good to talk to you, Rod. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah.
Blaine also, man.
Man.
We go way back.
Yeah.
Right? And from the beginning when you started Tarnation TV, pretty much, I believe. And it's good to finally be in the podium. I didn't expect this at all tonight, but the car ran good, and like I said, I had a lot of friends tonight from the get-go. That helps a lot, and I made the right choices for once, and was able to stay up front the whole night. And I was talking to before the race to Pumpkin, him and I were going to work together, and I said, I just want the coffee cup. That's all I want. I'll push you to the win. Whoever's in front of me, I'll push them. I just want the coffee cup. And damn it if I didn't get it.
And that's awesome, because we were talking about that just after the drivers meeting. They had mentioned that, and they brought us. We went back down here, and I said to Blaine right off the get-go, I said, all right, do you want the prestige and say, I won this race, or do you want that darn coffee cup? And you answered the question right there. You wanted that darn coffee cup, and it worked out great for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've been trying to get that coffee cup for 23 years. I mean, I was with these guys when they started, and then I've come back and I've left and come back over the years. That's a lot of years, right? And they're still, Open Speedway is still kicking strong. And just so I don't forget, I want to thank Ralph and all the guys at Open Speedway for doing what they do. And as long as they've done it, that's a high accolades to them guys.
We did talk about that, how oh gosh, now I lost my train of thought on that, but how you were racing over here. We got the invite, I believe it was like the end of January, to come in and do their final race for their IROC series. We get there, and who's the points leader? Chris Elliott. 2 races later, Chris Elliott's not the points leader. We come back to the next month, same thing. you're there. You were in the chase. Had the chance. Just both of those times, luck was just not on your side. You just, you got caught up in other people's wrecks, and it didn't work out well for you. And then, of course, we get to the third month, and you weren't in there because you didn't run enough. So.
Yeah, I really like their Monday night series. I think a lot of people do. It's one of their good big nights with turnout. And one thing is it's a points race, and they do 2 races in the same night, and which is pretty cool. So it's a good thing that they got going on Mondays. And if I can make it, I'm going to be there. Sometimes life gets busy sometimes.
Yeah, you just got to convince them to stop a little earlier. Do it the third month, not the last one, because you always seem to get messed up with that. But either way, we do know that you are somewhat of a talent behind the wheel. Blaine, do you have any questions for Chris?
Somewhat of a talent, yeah.
Just teensy bit.
Yeah,
but wait a minute. He has a lot more talent with the golf club there on World Golf Tour. So he makes up for his lack of driving skills. Can we say that? With better golfing skills, yeah.
I remember at Talladega Nights going back there. I mean, you had control over a couple of the series there, like the one that always comes to mind is the Back to the Future series. Are you still in control of anything to that capacity still? Because that was a pretty solid little run that thing had.
Just in my mind.
Yeah.
But I think about it a lot. I just talked to Jeff, and bless his heart, he's going through. He'll be going through the battle here pretty soon with his cancer. So, and before I forget, this win is for my brother Jeff. So I think he'd be excited to see this. I don't even know. No, I didn't even talk to him tonight about me running tonight, so I forgot. But he'll watch it. And but yeah, they do the same thing. It's not called Back to the Future, but it's called something else over there at PRL, which is basically the exact same thing. Denny Carroll was heading it, and it's on Tuesdays, and it's when I get over and run there, it's a lot of fun too. So yeah, I like those old regular tracks and cup and fixed setups. It's pretty just like the way we did it when we first started racing at Open Speedway 23 years ago.
Nice. There you go.
All right. Well, congratulations on the second place finish. It probably feels like you said like a win to you, and I'd give you the chance to thank anybody and everybody that you'd like to. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank Open Speedway, Ralph, and all the admins. And I know it's Larry D and Donnie Cameron and Rick and Brad. And I don't know that there's a few other ones, but I want to thank all those guys. First of all, I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast for us. I want to thank DVD and Brian Wolf and Kelly Causey and Pumpkin and a couple other guys I can't think of tonight for helping me out. If it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't have got that second place. So I want to thank those guys. Thank my wife for letting me race. And well, that's about it. I just want to thank everybody for showing up and having a pretty fun race, I thought. I know we had some wrecks, but that's Talladega for you. But and thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Congratulations on the second place finish. And, get that address out to Larry D. He'll get you that Open Speedway coffee mug.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
And also congrats to Kelly for winning the race.
All right. Good job, bud. We have the guy that is known as Buckshot 00. That is Kelly Causey. I said it right. I messed it up once tonight. You are live with Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a coffee.
How's it going, guys?
Great race
Going
tonight.
good.
You ran really good. You kept the strategy there pretty good, and you ended up taking it away from these guys tonight, bud.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got lucky a couple times with the gas situation, I guess. One time I pitted and then went in there, and then so when we came into the competition yellow, I was able to take his little bit of gas and get in the front. But there at the end, I mean, I had some help with some guys. They helped me. Chris, Rocket, and Wolf. Those guys. There was several times that I got work with them, and when you get really tight. But there's some good racers out there. It's a good group of guys. I raced here many years ago for a little while, and it's where I kind of started back in 2000 and I think it was 5 to like 12, and then got out of the racing, came back 20 raced a little bit over here, and then kind of ended up getting over at RTG, I guess. But it was a lot of time. This is where it started. And Ralph has done an unbelievable job keeping this thing going. I'm very happy, that I got a chance to come over here and race with some of these guys, DVD and some of them guys that many a lap been run with. So it's a big honor to come over here and be able to pull out a victory.
It's really cool when you get the invite to come over to a race like this, decide to do it, and then you come out with the the downside to it is you get the proverbial trophy. You get the bragging rights for the next year to say that you won the race, you are the champion. But there again, we just had Chris Elliott up here, and his main goal tonight was to get the coffee mug. So he was able to do that. Would you rather get the win or the coffee mug?
Well, I don't drink coffee, so I'll take the win. But I mean, that is a neat deal that they do that, and without Wolf behind me, I don't think I would have had a chance. He really pushed me there at the end.
He had said something about that he was going to stick with you no matter what, which worked out pretty darn good. But Diver Down really gave Chris Elliott a heck of a push there. Got him by Wolf, but not quite far enough to get up to you. So that still worked out. Those little weird tonight, seeing you in the 60 and not the old Budweiser 00.
Well, that car, actually, I'd made that for my brother. He ran the 60 car in ASA back in the day and was a big Eddie Money fan, so I made that for him. I don't know where exactly we ran it, but I made it for him. And so when they told me the 00 that they had somebody that had been running that, been showing up on a regular basis, I think Mike Ireland, I said, well, let me look and see if I had a 60, and luckily I had that car still in there. I hadn't wiped it out, so I said, well, I'll put it in there, and so we ran it, and it was a nice car, to be honest with you.
That's a great tribute there. That's awesome. But Blaine, do you have any questions for Kelly?
More just like a comment too, because like we're talking about coffee mugs, man. So yeah, thanks again for the one you sent me from the Elmo race. That's always cool to get my little gift package on the side there. But yeah, man, awesome run tonight, and coffee cups for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if some of them guys I sent it to, I tell you what, yours is the most expensive coffee cup there is. The shipping, it's crazy to go. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, let's get something across an international border. It's stupidity sometimes.
Right, but
I'm about to find that out because I got him a few things that I got to send him. But yeah,
and it's so random too. Like it would change day to day, and you wouldn't even know. But anyway, yeah. Well, I asked Wolf this question too about the 60 lap, because that's usually only 47, 66, and then 74, right, or 76. Does that change your brain pattern because you guys are so used to running Talladega at 66 laps, so you've got all the laps down. Okay, we're going in at lap 19. Boom, 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 boom. Now you're that last stop's a little bit different.
Yeah, it was a little different, but I'm that guy that always has that how many laps I got left always up there. So I'm always looking at that thing, and when that yellow flag comes out, I'm calculating in my mind: do I need to go here? Do I want to go in the second time? Do I want to go in the third time? So I was just trying to stay on top of it, and I think I got lucky a couple times with it. That if they wouldn't, I don't know what happened, but we had the caution. They had to throw it back out twice. It was saying something like a car on the track. We were fixing to go green. If we wouldn't have had those and wouldn't have had that last caution, I wouldn't have made it. I can tell you that right now. So I was kind of in a bind right there. I think Wolf was also. We were really going to have to. I was in the lead, and I was going to have to get out of the lead because I was going to have to conserve some gas. But once they made those two more laps, I don't know why it came out exactly. But anyway, so do you guys have y'all ever raced over here at Open Speedway?
I have not. No.
Okay. Well, Mouse, he has done, like I said, it's been a long time, and he's definitely been at it for 23 years. And there used to be some pictures of all the guys. Of course, a lot of them have passed, but it's been a many a lap. I can remember back in the day, you'd get up and get on there on open speedway and get in, and then you'd be there till 2 o'clock at night. If you want to get up the next morning and go back to racing, you'd go racing. It's just, man, those were the days. But anyway, it's a big honor for him to put it on for so many years. And anyway, like I said, I'm proud that I got the chance to race in this thing, and proud that I got to win it, and I'm trying to get a representative out of Open Speedway to run in the ALS race. Maybe next year we can get somebody out of this bunch of guys.
There you go. That's pretty awesome. So, all right. Well, congratulations on the win. So we'll give you the opportunity to just, let everybody know who you want to thank, talk about anything you're upcoming or whatever. So the floor is yours.
Well, not a whole lot, just thanks to you guys coming and do it. Thanks to Ralph and his admins. Donnie had a big factor in putting this all together and getting a lot of other guys over here. So I appreciate these guys at Open. I don't run quite as much, and the main reason I don't is they start at 9:30, and I'm a football coach, and we start workouts at 7 o'clock in the morning. So when I drive a bus during the season at 6, so that's really one of the main reasons that I don't get over here nearby as much as I could. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Open Speedway, and thank you, Ralph.
Well, there you go. Your tonight's winner, like I said, gets to brag about. He was the winner there for the next year on the 23rd anniversary race. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Have a good night, dude.
Y'all too.
Well, there you go. That was a pretty good little race.
Yeah, it was.
But
a couple of weird spots, like that weird glitch with the pace car, but they figured it out. And yeah, like he was saying too, if he didn't get those yellow laps, they would have been having maybe pit again, because they would have had to run those at full speed. They wouldn't have conserved it.
That's how it works sometimes. Even some sort of computer issue, whatever. Hey, it gave him a few more laps. It worked out in his favor, and he was able to make the distance. And still have fuel enough for a pretty good burnout. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's almost 1 o'clock, so we're going to go to bed. And thanks again to Larry and Ralph, the whole crew over there at Open Speedway, for having us in here to do this for them. It's always a lot of fun hanging out and doing this stuff. Different leagues. We got to get back in the groove for certain leagues because they do different things. But at the end of the day, this was a massive turnout for the 23rd anniversary for Open Speedway's Racing League here in NASCAR Racing 2003 season. So that's awesome. Thanks everybody on YouTube for interacting with us in the chat, and of course viewing it live or on a replay, however you want to do it. Thank you to, of course, the drivers. Like I said, full field, can't do it without that, and that is always super cool, seeing that many people show up, especially to a late race on a Sunday night. And Mr. Weston, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And of course, my name's Blaine Donlan. That's Rod Weston. And if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.